This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. What's going on, freaks? I can get more in 1 hour. If you watch 1 hour of my videos, it will be equivalent to 400 hours on Gray's show. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for all the freaks who, are over there supporting the channel on the Whack Job, Harvey's channel, he's an embarrassment to mankind. Well, actually, shit, he's one of the most important people in the history of mankind. He's worked with every single president that's been alive in the history of the world. He's got some crazy genetic, some shots put into a system where he was actually alive when George Washington was president. Wow, it's unbelievable. Man, everybody, we're so lucky to have somebody of that caliber on YouTube. We just don't realize it. Whew. Yeah. Anyways, I hope some of you actually went and watched some of the videos so you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Absolutely absurd stuff. And, I don't mind Harvey attacking me or anything like that. Just to let you know, I don't really give a shit. What bothers me is that there's actually one person that believes anything that guy says. Okay? So you actually look in the comments and you see people going, wow, good stuff, good stuff. And it's freaky. Now, is there anybody in here that feels like I screw them over with the super chats and the, donating to charity at the end of the month? I think I'm about as open as you could possibly be. I say exactly what we're doing here. Okay? And, I don't try to screw anybody over. I show the receipts. You had all these people over there. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Anyways, I'm not going to turn this into some kind of drama channel type shit. It was just wild. But anyways, thanks everybody over there for, defending and supporting the channel. And I remember something Dennis said yesterday about how, my show has helped him through some bad times. And I was actually thinking after the show how many times you guys have helped me through shitty times, when I got my surgery and just various other things out there, so I thank all of you for that as well. Yeah, watch, somehow he'll have martial arts training. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen this side-by-set yet, Cairo, but somebody with his low IQ probably would try to do that, okay? Because he's one of those people that actually put Barry Morphew up there as a suspect, okay? Wow. And Chad Daybell. Let me see. Let's get all... How come he didn't put, Photos Doulos on there, then he could have got all the big cases. I'm sure he probably wanted to get Scott Peterson in there, but just couldn't figure out a way to make that one work. It's absurd, everybody. And I appreciate all of you who really understand how absurd that stuff is. The people that don't know that it's absurd are not people that can be helped in society. Okay, there's something wrong with them. And listen, he keeps saying, you can't name one person that's been to the bridge on that day. But I can name, listen, I don't give a shit. Okay? I don't care what the people's names were there an hour before the girls got there. Or 2 hours before the girls got there. They had nothing to do with it. Okay? They're just kids. You're kind of a creep. Going out there trying to find and needle in and get the little kids' names. Harvey, you might want to look into why you're doing kind of stuff like that. It's a little strange. These are just kids that were there earlier. They weren't there anymore. Okay, you can see there's an adult on the bridge, right? How about this, Harvey? Do you know the guy's name that we see in the video? And the answer is no. So all the other names that you got was a complete waste of time. And I don't believe that there was like 100 people walking around at the bridge that day. Okay? Yeah. Hey, thanks, Rita Schaefer. And Scott Holland. Oh, man. It's unbelievable. The whole... after the show last night, a lot of the freaks were over there. Dan and Jennifer and Tracy and Heather. It was pretty amazing. Some people wanted to go there, but they were blocked. Yeah, so anyways, the numbers are up on the top there if you want to call in about a true crime story or even talk about a case that you want to talk about that we haven't talked about. Thanks, Kentucky Shirt Guy. Yeah. The problem is people actually go over and watch it once you say his name, and then all of a sudden he shows up in more into the algorithms and people. It was a 4-hour show. He rambled on for hours. When I do my shows, I'm literally talking about different things all the time. If you think I ramble, you probably shouldn't watch. That's the thing. Thanks, Dustin Schaefer and Gwendolyn B. And yes, everybody who's donating realizes that some of the money goes to the channel and some of the money goes to charity at the end of the month, okay? It's usually like 40 to 50% of the take-home YouTube revenue after taxes, okay? Hope that's okay. I know that there's other channels that do so much more than that. Well, I can't think of one, but let me know. Yeah, so far since January of last year, this channel and with the freaks, it's actually more than I thought, have donated $36,100 on Harvey the Whack Job's channel last night. One of his idiotic supporters kept saying, hey, I'm going to prove to you, I'm going to prove that you don't do it. I have every single receipt, and I've shown you guys on the screen every single time I make a donation. Okay? You guys see it. I actually show the email as it comes in live on the show. All right? So I have them all, and I welcome anybody out there to check to see if I'm donating the money to charity. Okay? We've donated the Freak family $36,100 since January 1st, 2020. That's like 15, how many months is that? 16 months, 17 months. That's about over $2,000 every single month. Hey, thanks, Wolf Spirit. And what's cool about that is that we know that our channel is making a difference regardless. Like if we covered rodeo clowns, like Harvey, every single day, we'd still be helping these crime-related charities, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And here's the thing is I've never cut down any of the work that John Kelly does, okay? I maybe some of the stuff he does is worth something. I don't know. All I'm saying is he doesn't have credibility with me because he touts absolute lunatics in the YouTube world, and anybody who does that means that they're not aware of reality and what's going on. So that's why I don't care for him. Okay? He one time he complimented me. But in the same sentence, he added in Harvey and a couple of these other guys, and then I realized, wow, I just got lumped in with absolute lunatics. And then I just wished he'd never mentioned my name at all. I didn't feel good at that point. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like, if somebody said, wow, yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't even want to give you an example. Yeah, that's right. Maybe I need to turn on the chat. Thanks, Cairo, he said. Oh, there it goes. It'll read it this time. I just turned that part on. So thank you up there to Gwendolyn B., the cat eye donation, Dustin Schaefer, Kentucky Chirk guy.
This donation is in the name of the 3 YouTube creators that hate you but can't stop watching. They're watching now. Hi guys, hit that like button. Thumbs up.
All right. Yeah, he literally, look at, Cairo was on there in the chat yesterday. Harvey literally paused the show to do a screen grab of Cairo so he could do a side-by-side with Dick or Pac, whatever you want to call him, okay? It's just, he's a lunatic, everybody. That's why he has Chad Daybell in an image comparing him to the bridge guy. It's like, let me get all the famous crime people and put them all together. Is Gray okay? What do you mean? What are you talking about, Lady 76? I don't get it. Is Gray okay? Anyone? What? I don't understand the question, funny Lady 76. Jesus, you sound like you're just clueless or something. Yep, Cairo is Pac. Yep. Yeah, you missed. You should have went and watched that, Truth Sleuth. It was crazy times. Crazy times. Are you okay, funny lady? Just checking. I'm just talking about last night's lunacy. Oh, there he goes. Planet Randy Live. Hey, Gray, bring up Google Maps and mess about for 3 hours. What is you actual? Wow, what is you actual? Why don't you learn to write first? Hey, Planet Randy, hey, dipshit. What it means is you haven't followed the channel at all. I've covered many cases. Many cases. I don't just cover the Delphi case. I covered many cases way before Delphi. I made animations in the Arius case, and then the McStay murders. We actually found information, gave it to law enforcement that they used at trial. You're just, you're a clown, okay? And I know that you think Harvey is the greatest, all right? And what's scary is there's people that believe that. Yeah, it was pretty late. Yeah, I've covered thousands of cases. Literally. Thousands of them. And mapping is a huge part of covering cases. If you can map things out, get the timeline together, you can actually generate very accurate theories. Notice that they just take off right after they get their little one-hit wonder in there. Of course, now they're on timeout. Which case are you talking about? Who's C, honey? I don't understand. Oops, that top one's too. Yeah, no, but he's got tons of credentials verbally. You know, he spoke at the United Nations, worked with Obama. Trump wanted him to run for office with him. Can you believe that? He said, old Trump he wanted to run for president with me. Oh, you're on the wrong, what do you mean the wrong feed? Funny lady. What does that mean? Was there a second feed? Yeah. He said in 1999, Trump asked me to run for president with him. Oh, yeah. Woo. God. Just imagine somebody actually delusionally having all these thoughts like that. Yep. Yep. Asking him to run for president and Trump was going to be vice. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's probably what it was. Anyways, you guys, if you want to call in with one of your true crime stories, it's up there. If not, we can just kind of... I did have one just totally random. I was looking through some Colorado cold cases. I don't even know if I have a map on this one yet. There was almost no coverage in there, but it was literally shows up on a cold case website. Maybe it wasn't. Yeah, it was Colorado. I played golf today. I did shoot 79. Finally got back in there, but man, it was all just smoke and mirrors, man. It was total miracle shit. I still wasn't hitting my irons very well. 38 on the front, 41 on the back. Yeah, okay, Nelson Green. Okay, Nelson Green. Okay, Nelson Green, you're so interesting. You've got it, man. You've got it all figured out, dude. Pathetic overlays. I don't do overlays, Nelson. Isn't that crazy? Nelson's thinking of the wrong guy. I've never done an overlay. Okay, I don't do overlays. You got the wrong guy, Nelson. Come back later, though, okay? Which case are you guys talking about, Sea Honey? You're talking about the case with the kid that was killed by the whack job father who just was like, yeah, don't say that, don't say that. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm not playing very well right now, though. I drove better, the ball, and the irons, though, I was hitting so well on the range, and it just kind of kept slowly getting worse. Oh, yeah, that's when the dad called in. Yeah, we already went through all that. Yeah. What's interesting about it now? It's case closed. Right? I mean, it's completely, she committed suicide. No doubt about it. 100%. Yeah, no, she's probably stuck in the rocks. Here, let me show you where this whole thing here. Watch. Let me show you the Niagara Falls. They at the press conference, it was it was the most incredible missing persons investigation I've ever seen in my life. Okay? It was absolutely crazy. So they tracked her all the way to the park. And then not only all the way to the park, they tracked her all the way to right here. Right on this ledge right here. And the dogs even tried to jump over and jump in the water because they got her scent. And she jumped in the water right there. And if you look, after she went in the water, would have gone right over these falls right here. And probably got stuck in these jagged rocks right there underneath the falls. And she's just being pummeled. She probably, you know. So that's the deal there. There's no doubt about it. She was even saying she's going to kill herself to her friends over and over again. She lied to them saying she was on a bus back home. And she wasn't on a bus back home. She was pinging. Her phone was pinging right in this area at that exact time. She took a photograph right here. It's just, it was, you got to admit, like, for those of you who watched the press conference, wasn't that one of the most sort of just accurate storytelling press conferences on a missing persons case you've ever seen? I mean, it literally walked through the whole thing. And by the time you're done, if you're still thinking, well, that's not true, that just means you don't want it to be true. It really was incredible. Yeah. Yeah, they just put them right together like a jigsaw puzzle without one piece missing except the part where you laminate the puzzle to a background and put it in a frame. I mean, it was like, you don't have her body, but it's crystal clear she didn't want to. She just broke up with her boyfriend. And she called a couple different people. They knew she was going to try to kill herself, but then she said, well, I'm feeling better now. I'm on a bus home. She was not on the bus. Her phone was still pinging at the park. And then the dog led, hey, thanks, Rita Schaefer, led right to the edge of the water. Oh, yeah. So here we go. We got this person up here that's claiming, again, we got people that think that my wife is a mail order person, and she's not. That's not how we met at all. But see, that just shows you that person's a racist up there. See, just like Miss Wonderful when she said the same thing. So when people assume that because you're Asian, you're a mail order bride, you got to go check yourself into a facility. Okay. Yeah, their comment was blocked. It's up there though. Another lunatic. And believe it or not, that Jules of Thought is very similar type person. She was big buddies with MFW. See, you know, that's the crazy part about all this shit, everybody. It's just there's these people out there that aren't good people, but are pretending they're the ones that are victims. Did I meet a UFO? What do you mean? What happened, Jay? What's going on? Do I have like something going on with my thumbnail or something? No, I think it was just meant to. It's racist. Okay. No, it wasn't meant for anything like that. It's just racist people assuming shit like that. My best round ever is a 70 on the same course. It's a good course. It's just 71 is the par on it. And I shot a 70 about 2 years ago there. And I've shot 72 at the same place. And then 74 multiple times. I mean, like, I've probably shot 74 20-something times at least. Oh, yeah? I've never been to Niagara Falls. See, Cairo's kind of lucky in some ways. Some ways he's not lucky what he does. No, no, I didn't even go to the University of Oregon. I went to U of O and then Oregon State. We've only been married we just met here in Portland. We're not, we met each other in 2010. I just can't stand when people throw that in there. They're just losers, you know. Thank you, Kimberly Sheets. Yeah, Cairo gets to go all over the place. Has a lot of like crazy stories. I always thought it'd be cool if he would just sort of film his life on the road doing what he's doing. Yeah, that's where Chewbacca came from. All of that stuff, right?
Chewbacca?
See?
Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Yeah, see, that's out there. That's real stuff. Yeah. Yeah. You got that right. You got that right. Here, let me just do this one really quick though. Alright, so we got this masked pair Slay Littleton man. This is 1968 on Halloween. It's pretty crazy though. Look at this weird one. Alan Gray, 48, the vice president of sales for Colorado Fuel and Iron Corp, was shot to death in his home in fashionable Cherry Hills Village Thursday night. Arapahoe County Sheriff officers said his death apparently stemmed from an abortive Halloween robbery. Officers quoted Gray's 17-year-old daughter Kathleen as saying, "Look how spooky this shit is," that she answered the door following the host of trick-or-treat calls, and two masked men forced their way into the house, telling her to keep her mouth shut. She said her father ran to the living room to answer her call because she yelled, and was shot twice in the abdomen. The girl said the two men then fled in the darkness. Two masks were reportedly found later near the family home. Wow, I wonder if they held on to those. They could get some DNA off of those for sure. Gray was admitted to Swedish hospital in Inglewood at 8:33 p.m. and died of his wounds at 9:40. Gray was formerly general manager of purchasing for Kaiser Steel. Yeah, and they just pretended they were trick-or-treaters, and then they come busting in. I wasn't going to save this all the way for next Halloween, though. And then there's another one, same story, but it had another one at the beginning. Denver area law enforcement officers continue investigation into the bizarre slaying of a 48-year-old CF&I Steel Corp official at his Cherry Hill Village home Halloween night. Police say the victim, Alan Gray, was shot by two gunmen wearing Halloween masks who forced their way into the home under the guise of being trick-or-treaters. Arapahoe County Sheriff Ray Voigt said in his theorized the gunman intended to rob Gray, but became frightened, shot him, and then fled without taking anything. Voigt said it was not determined whether the men fled on foot or in a car, and officers have absolutely no clue to the killing. The political pace is picking up, and I think I thought this one had the other part of another article. I think it's this one right here, though. There was another incident in another place. So it was like Charles Goldberg, 53, president of Barnett Company, a demolition firm, was tied up and robbed in his 6th-floor luxury apartment today by two young gunmen. I wonder if they're related. See, that's why they put these together. Officers reported Goldberg pushed the button to open the lobby door after being told on the intercom the caller had a telegram for him. See, it's another sort of ruse, like Halloween was a ruse, and then this is another one. When he opened the door, he was confronted by the youth, who demanded money, he reported. Then he handed over his wallet, he said, then started hitting him and said, you know what happened a few days ago. So they actually said that, hey, you know what happened a few days ago. So they were aware of the Halloween incident, these criminals. Detectives said this may have been a reference to the fatal shooting of Alan G. Gray, 48. Robert, let's see, the description of the two robbers was similar to that of the two men who shot Gray in what appeared to be a robbery attempt. So I bet you those are related. They just never, and that's it. And the story just disappeared forever. And you had two, I think those are related. Now, if they have the masks, they can probably get DNA off of them for sure, if they still have them. Yeah, we're not going to be talking about the. Are you talking about Kendrick Johnson? Yeah, that one's crazy. Yeah, the Kanika Jenkins case is one that it's 100% solved. Everybody knows. People with rational minds all know that it was. She died accidentally by putting herself into the freezer, walking in there. There's no doubt about it. I'm glad it just kind of disappeared after 3 years. Took a long time. Yeah. All right. I think a caller called in. Hold on.
Hello?
Hello? Yep. Who's this?
It's this account.
Ah, Jesus. What's going on?
Well, I was going to call and give you the my true crime story, if that's okay.
Yep. Give your true crime story.
Okay. So, well, I did want to tell you this, too. This one I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with, but part of the reason that I value the privacy, I actually was lured into a car when I was 9, and the person was able to do so in part because they did know my name. So, yeah. But the one that I want to talk about was, this is just kind of, so I used to work in a kind of a small, little shop where we sold like grocery items. We sold cigarettes, and we had the ability to process small amounts of film for photos. And so usually at nighttime it would just be 2 of us. And I worked the night shift.
Yeah, but where is all this? That's how we do the show, remember? You say where it was, and we get it all marked out on the screen, and we're looking at it.
Oh, like on your map?
Yeah, so where is this that you're talking about?
Oh, I don't want to tell all that.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I know. Okay.
It kind of ruins the stories. But yeah, go ahead and tell it anyways. What is it?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, bummer. Okay. So what I'm doing in the store at that time is it's maybe like an hour before closing, and I'm faced away from the door, so I can't see the customer come in, but I can hear that the door opens. So they can't see me. I'm bending down and emptying out of the garbage bin, and I'm greeting them saying, hello, how are you? Something to that extent. But before I fully stand up and turn around, all the hairs on the back of my neck and really the entire body, they just stood up. And I looked, and it was 2 males, and we did have a video surveillance in the store, and we had a small kind of like a television there, so that, when you walked in, you could see that you were on camera. And so I was frightened. I'd never had experienced that feeling before in my life. And their behavior was a little bizarre. They just kind of walked around the perimeter of the building and didn't go down the aisles. So something kind of kicked in with me, and we had a kind of a rack set up that was fairly tall. So I stepped to the side and kind of, I wasn't fully hidden, but it was where, you know, like I was not as visible over there. So then they turned around and went and left and went out of the store. Well, the girl that I worked with was in a place that she could kind of see down at a higher angle. And I was saying to her as soon as they left, "Did you see those guys in the store?" She says, "Yes, every hair on the back of my neck went up when they came in." So we never did this. The store that I worked in, we had been robbed several times. And so for us to have decided on the spot, in part for our own safety, let's lock the door. We did. And then also we kind of thought, well, is the store is still open? And we had lots of regulars. So let's go ahead and call. Like we placed a call, not emergency. It was so frightening. And we were afraid that maybe if they were coming back, were casing the place. We had a lot of local businesses being robbed at that time, that if there was a person trying to come into our store from the parking lot, that maybe they would be, targeted. So we did call the police, and they came in and they reviewed the tape. And while we were not robbed, they said that we were very, very lucky that they were on the tape at other robberies. And something I did not see with my back turned, the individual, one of them, had noticed that television on the counter, and he made like a snarl at it, kind of like a where you could see part of his teeth, and like, or I don't really know how to describe that. I guess a snarl works, but he saw himself.
I'm still trying to figure out I don't even know what's going on. Like, I don't even know what you're referring to. There was some guy in the store that I've completely missed the entire part. It just seemed like it went somewhere else and then back. So you're saying that you guys, what made the hair stand up on your neck back then?
Well, that was kind of my point in calling, is that, like, although for us we were safe, and when they came, the police officers told us that they were involved in local robberies. These were the wanted individuals. But to always trust that, I don't know that's the weird part. I don't know what made those hairs stand up on the back of my neck, because they were young men, but it could have been a family behind me. I never would have known.
They didn't steal anything or anything, right?
No, they did not.
Well, what were they doing in there? They were just kind of walking around.
They were. And once we did, yes, they actually did nothing, and that's where I was saying it was very much not something we would just normally. We'd been robbed before. It wasn't that we would just call because two kind of scary people came in. I mean, really, truly, when you saw them, there was nothing scary about them, but it was just, it made the hair on the back of your neck stand up. It made the hair on the back of her neck stand up. Yeah. And then when we talked to the police officers, they said, call us right away if these guys come back. What they do is they go in, they walk around in whatever place it is, and then they either at that moment or later, they come back and then they rob. And they were doing this at gunpoint. And at one store, they actually had hit a clerk over the head with a hammer. And she survived and was okay. But in an attempt to get into the safe, she panicked, and that made them angry. So the story was a good outcome for us. They did actually catch these guys, not that night, but within a couple of nights. So those robberies stopped from them. But for folks to know, if that hair comes up, that means something. Trust it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you had the. I mean, people have those feelings. You get the. I don't know if you call it. It's not like a. It's almost a natural feeling without you thinking about it. It's not a gut instinct or anything. It's more just kind of like, whoa, I got the like a chills type of thing. You know, it's like getting chills.
Yeah.
When you hear like a really cool song that brings you back to a time, you get the chills.
Yeah.
It's a sort of a similar thing, but in a negative way, where what's ever happening right now, you're picking up signals that are telling you something, right?
Right. And in this situation, I hadn't seen them, but I'll tell you, I think if I had been able to see them, it really wasn't the sight of these guys. They didn't really look any different than other customers. But because I was hunched over, and then as I was standing up, I had to turn around. But before I ever even made it that far, that hair went up. And have you ever experienced that, Gray, like on the back of your neck?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was...
Yeah.
On different, like a long time ago, not as much as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And so when that happens, it's a very different feeling than just your regular, I have a chill now, or it's just, you can't really quite describe it, but if you experience it, you know it. And it's kind of the reason I called. I know it's not that awesome of a story, but was just to say that if someone has that kind of feeling, trust it, because, we took the extra step, and we really we felt kind of silly to even call the police, but we were really scared and did not want anyone else to get hurt either. And there had been such a string of robberies. So, we found out that those feelings were correct for both of us, that we were actually in danger. And that they believed probably him seeing himself on that little television screen on the video where he kind of made a little snarl at it. They knew he noticed it, and so they thought maybe that might have been what they lost their nerve, or, they thought maybe they were going to be close to being caught. I'm not sure, but... so we weren't just panicked for no reason, basically.
Yeah. All right. Well,
we had all kinds. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, interesting story. Yeah, I don't want to,
Yeah, there's really nothing more there. It was just kind of like, hey, if you feel that.
Yeah, if you get that feeling, everybody, make sure that you pay attention to it.
Yep, and trust it.
Yeah. It doesn't make you an empath. Hey, look at everybody. I don't believe in that kind of stuff, everybody. If somebody goes, I'm an empath, they're immediately going to be timed out. I don't do empath shit. Like, if you call yourself an empath, then you're trying to be like you probably got like a conical hat with a star on the top, a robe. Okay, everybody has empathy. We all feel things. We all see things. Everybody has that. You're not special by calling yourself an empath. All right. So. Right.
I don't think that. I mean, I know that word. I don't really know exactly what they mean when they say that. But
just means
I don't think I'm that.
I know. They think, well, yeah, you're just like everybody else who has the hair stand up on the back of their neck, and you should pay attention to those moments. But it's the people who have the. It's the people who have the. When they call themselves something, they're trying to distinguish themselves as being this higher level than you. Okay, so everybody out there just yeah, like somebody in the chat goes, "Wow, I understand her. I'm an empath," and I'm like, screw it. You get timed out.
Oh,
yeah, I don't do it.
Yeah, that's not really what I mean. I think what I mean, like the best way I would describe that would be, since I was working in this same environment all the time, and when you work with general public, you do get a little, maybe a vibe on people. I don't know, but I think it's just because they're coming into an environment that you are very comfortable with. So if something, you know, you could tell when someone is upset or... I mean, their face is red and they're slamming their things down. And, you know, I mean, but when they come into an environment that you're very comfortable in, it's a little bit easier to kind of get a feel for somebody. But I wouldn't say it was like some kind of a psychic, you know, empathic.
No, it just means that your body picked up on something you know, that just wasn't right, and you got everybody has those in their life,
right?
So what basically what the whole message is when you feel those things, trust what you're feeling and maybe act upon those things. Okay.
Yes, that's right. That's what I'm. That's what I'm saying. And you said, "Oh, geez," when I called in, so I won't call in for a while.
Oh no, come on. You know, I always just do that when the same people like I do the same thing when Susanna calls in.
Susanna, okay.
When she calls in every day, I go, "Oh Jesus, here we go."
Oh, Jesus.
So now you're in that boat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, I don't mind being in the boat, Susanna. Okay, she's got a nice little catchphrases, but she's a good thinker, you know. So. And a good caller in, I guess. And I will be in the boat with her.
All right. Well,
all right.
Well,
so let's hear some more. Oh, go ahead.
I just said thanks for calling.
Yeah, thanks. And I'll see you in the chat, ready to listen to all the others.
Okay, cool. All right, see you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Gray.
Thank you. Actually, I guess it's hard to hang up. You see what? What are you talking about, Brittany? It would bother if you went, "Oh Jesus, here we go." Who cares, man? Jesus. Yeah.
Oh, did you hear Gray? So mean to his callers. Oh, God.
No, I'm just goofing around, okay? If you can't take it, probably shouldn't be here. Yeah, Jenny Penny is actually gets off a call just like Colleen Fitzpatrick does. You're talking to Colleen for an hour, and you go, "Okay, let me see. I'll tell you what. I'll call you tomorrow. Okay, bye." Yeah, it's just there's none of that. Like, okay, great, yeah, great. It'll be great to just boom, and she just says, Jenny Penny just says, "Bye." Click. There's nothing. But as long as you know that going ahead, it doesn't feel bad, right? Yeah, I wasn't mean. I just didn't understand your story at first because it was like, well, what these guys even do? It turns out they did nothing in your store. Just the point of the story is that you had these, your spider senses came on, and then it turns out you even called the police, and it turns out those people were casing different places and planning out robberies, and you just happened to pick up on it without even having anything happen because your spider sensors kicked in. That's it. That's it. There's no extra. All right, BB. BB. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, who's this?
On his hamburger a while ago.
You came on as Hamburger? Okay, what's going on?
So are you familiar with the John Jamelski case, the guy that locked up a bunch of girls in the basement in
No,
upstate New York, maybe?
doesn't really sound familiar.
Okay. If you Google him, you'll probably the first thing that comes up. I don't know if he's still alive. I was trying not to see if he is. But anyway, he kidnapped a bunch of ladies for like 10 years, and one of my friend's sisters was one of the people that was kidnapped. So they thought that she ran away because she was kind of a crazy person and like an erratic 14-year-old girl at the time. He didn't release her for like 6 or 7 years. So I think she was about 20 or so. And
So he was kind of like that Castro guy. Remember those other 3 girls? They were 10 years? Yeah.
Exactly like Castro. Yeah, like they had to like, use buckets for the bathroom. He was married to a lady. But anyway, it happened in my hometown. And when the girl came back, she was like completely crazy. Like she shaved her head, became a stripper, and like went off the deep end. And they haven't spoken to her. I think the last time they spoke to her was like 2011. So she might still be alive. I don't know. But I'm surprised you don't know about the case, though. I was so sure you would know about it.
I mean, I've covered thousands of them, just not that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's solved. See, I cover a lot of cold case. I don't do a lot of solved cases.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't cover the Castro one, or it might have been a breaking story, but I try to do ones that still need help. I'm not really,
Yeah, it was
Why don't you
a
just
pretty
talk about it?
prominent. Sorry.
Why don't you just tell us about it?
Okay, so my friend, like we were 11 at the time. Her sister was a little bit older than us, and she was missing when we were hanging out. So, like, they basically just assumed that she had ran away, but like she was still in high school. And by the time that she got back, we were a little bit older, and she was just kind of warped. Like, she wasn't the same person, and she seemed kind of schizo. But they didn't know at the time that there was a bunch of other women missing, because he would go around and like offer them like Burger King and like offer them like things that they wanted or a ride or something. And he eventually got caught. I'm trying to see what year eventually he got caught. One sec. In 2003, he was eventually caught. But yeah, she just seemed totally off the rails when she got released, and like became a stripper, which isn't a bad thing at all, but like she was kind of demented and warped after that from, I guess he was raping them and like holding them hostage in the bunker. And they ended up getting paid out like $1 million or something like that. But anyway, that's most of what I have. I just wanted to share with you.
Well, why don't you send me an email on that one? Maybe I'll take a look at it and just kind of, tell the basic story of it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I love you, Gray. I hope you have a better night and everything.
Well, yeah. Well, it was just a crappy yesterday. Tonight's not too bad.
Yeah.
We were talking about last night. I don't know if you were around last night, but it was pretty.
No, I saw you were live, but wasn't it about? I'm not sure what it was about. I missed it.
Well, last night was a crazy one. Just for those of you who are just showing up, here I'll give you this in a short synopsis of the crazy information that me and Dennis were putting out last night on. That was the Schnee Oberholzer case out of Breckenridge, Colorado. Have you ever heard of that one?
I remember watching a little bit of your live. I don't know a lot about it though.
Yeah. Well, what was crazy about that case is, 2 girls were killed, and after 40-something years, they identified the killer with DNA found on either a glove or a little piece of Kleenex, or both. We don't really know. But they were at the scene, a little bit of blood on those. And 42 years later, just a few months back, he was arrested. But it turns out in the newspaper, if you type in his name in January 1982, he pops up on these national news articles where there was this guy, well, him. There was at this mountain pass called the Guanella Pass, up in the mountains near Breckenridge. His car crashed into a snowbank at 20 below zero, way at the highest point at 10,655 feet. The car crashes into a snowbank. He gets out of the car and goes, "Oh, damn, this is too cold." And he's sitting in his car. He had warm clothing and everything, but he would have probably froze to death. And he saw an airliner. He saw an airliner coming over the mountain, and he flashed his headlights in SOS signal. And a passenger who was a sheriff on the airliner happened to look out the window and see this car flashing SOS signal. And then he walks up to the pilot. The pilot radioed down to two other planes who flew around. Then they located the car, and then had the sheriff go, help this person named Alan Phillips off the mountain. And it turns out that is the killer. Alan Phillips is the killer that's who was arrested just a couple months ago. But this article is from 40 years ago in the paper. And not only that, he was on his way home from killing both the girls that night when this happened. Okay, it wasn't like a week later or a month prior. It was the night he killed the two girls. He got trapped up on a mountain, and it made national news. And he got out of it. So that's probably one of the craziest stories you're ever going to hear. Okay.
I think I caught like just a few seconds or a few minutes of that last night, but were you talking to someone who was like, if he hadn't shot her, she would have froze to death or something? Was that part of the live that I'm thinking of?
Well, she bled. Well, I think the comment would be that she bled to death. Both victims bled to death, as opposed to, like the gunshot wound. I mean, they would have survived if they'd been taken to a hospital. Let's put it that way.
Did your guest maybe say something about they would have froze to death? I think I remember something like that, but that's wild. I have no idea. I didn't know anything about that case. So. Yeah.
Well, anyways, I thought I'd throw that out there since you missed that part.
I'm gonna catch myself up on it tonight. I think.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah. Pretty crazy. All right.
Thank you so much for taking my call. I will email you more details. I don't know what's too sensitive because she never came out to the public. Like, they were on Oprah and everything, but she was the guest that withheld her identity. But I'm going to talk to my friend and see what's okay to dispel or whatever.
Yeah. No, I think it's... I think I do want to check that out just so I know about it, because you made me feel bad. I can't believe you don't know about this. I think I've probably heard about... Oh, sorry. Hey, thank you, Adaccord21.
Come up and share their stories.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, no, somebody just donated.
Robot.
Yeah, the robot. Yeah, so you... let's see. You made me feel bad that I didn't know about the story. I'm gonna start crying.
You know what? No, it's okay, because I think Castro kind of stole the limelight, because the girls were like, there's the one who's like kind of slower of the girls, and she got super famous. I don't remember her name. But it seemed like everybody kind of got really famous from that one, but Jamalski might have been the OG for like bunker women getting all held hostage.
How many did he have in there? Did any of them die, or were they just hostages?
I don't think any of them died, but a lot of them he kind of got like girls people would assume would be missing for other reasons and things like that. I think there was a total of 6 girls, and they were all released at different times, and then like he was really wealthy and stuff, so like they were afraid to tell people, and then eventually one of the girls kind of let the cat out of the bag, and yeah. But I'm gonna get the full scoop, so if you ever decide to like cover the case, I can talk to my friend directly, who has way more info than even I have. So
okay, well, that'd be pretty.
But anyways, I love you, and I hope you're doing well, and I will talk to you later.
All right, well, appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
All right, bye.
Bye. Hey, Cairo, I can't get to your... oh, wait, maybe that's it. Hold on. Wait, they say like like a long time ago. Wait, are these from a long time ago? Type it in the... hold on. I'm trying to download these files. Hold on a second. And thanks, BB, for calling in. Brittany. Yeah, thanks, Atticor. Yeah, it's cool having people calling with their stories. A lot of people have wild stories out there. Let me, I'm just trying to download these to make sure I have the right videos. Yeah, it's so slow. Alright. So hopefully that worked. Alright, hello! 304, 304. No, you muted yourself, 304. 304. Star 6.
Sorry, dude. I always forget how to unmute. Darlene White just told me how in the chat. I always forget.
Oh, I see. So, do you just send me the ones that are like, say, Bridge and DJI, that kind of thing?
What's that?
The files that you just sent me, are those the ones that say Bridge and DJI?
I should have just sent you one file.
Yeah, it just didn't really work. I don't know.
Damn.
I mean, I was looking at something. It seemed like I got into the file that was from today, though. There was two files.
I literally named the file this one, Gray. Did you just get an email from me saying this one, Gray?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I was looking at. Hold on. God, it's just, I hate Dropbox. It doesn't even work.
It's the worst. I use it for work, dude.
It's just a garbage.
I had like a month worth of work get deleted off of there, just magically disappeared last year, and I lost like 20 grand, dude. I hate Dropbox too.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, actually, I see it here. I see it.
Okay.
Let me. I get to download it. The other one, it was something.
That's cool.
I don't even know when that was from.
I'll tell you what happened
Freaks.
prior to you playing the video anyway. So.
Okay.
So the other day I was in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Beautiful.
Oh wait, shit. Sorry. Hold on. I pressed that button.
I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Chewbacca?
I was on the wrong. Oh, say it. Wait, wow, we couldn't tell what the difference was, man. Cairo said it at the exact same time. It was unbelievable. All right. Okay, so let me go ahead and tell now. Go ahead. Ready to go.
All right. So if you want to bring it up on the map, it was so traumatizing that I remember where the street was. If you type in the Microtel Inn on McCutcheon Road in Chattanooga, Tennessee, that is the parking lot that all of these like 5 things happened in.
Chattanooga? Where at again?
Yeah.
Microtel Inn. I got that.
McCutcheon Road in Chattanooga.
Oh, well, this one says Widham, Chattanooga. Oh, there it is, McCutcheon, something. Yeah, it says McCutcheon Road, Chat. There's got to be just that one, right? I mean, it's like an L-shaped building. L-shaped building, blue.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the screen, but like, you know, as soon as I showed up, I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee, right? So as soon as I showed up, someone tried to sell me meth, you know. It's just how it goes when you're in Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I politely declined, and I checked into my room, and actually there was like these dudes like getting into a fight because they said something to someone's girlfriend, and like they like turned into a fight. Turned out they were security because, you know, when you're in a bad area, they hire just local gang members to run security, so nobody actually like tries to mess with them, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm staying in this dump hotel because I would have stayed at the La Quinta at least, but
It looks cool from
it
the
was-
outside, but it's probably not good, right?
yeah, it's a dump. The whole city's a dump. Sorry, anyone that lives in Chattanooga. But anyway, so I'm there. I'm actually talking to Becca, and I'm out in the parking lot, and like mad police show up, and I don't know what's going on. And one of the cops is just kind of like hanging back for a second. And I was like, hey, am I in a bad area? And he was like, you saw that I didn't show up alone, right? That should tell you something. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Good call. So this girl was like, oh, there's like 2 dead people in my room.
Wow.
And I was like super confused. And I guess they were overdoses. And it was quite odd.
What's
and then
up?
more cops show up a little bit later, and a guy's running around looking for a missing girl, and I have no idea what's going on. And I'm out there, and that's when I recorded the video I just sent you. If you'd like to play it,
Okay.
you can tell that I was a little intoxicated while I was recording the video. So
All right, here we go. Here we go, man. It's like true TV. Is she gonna do Chewbacca? Oh, let me turn it up. There we go. Your phone wasn't picking up on the... Well, it's not sideways. I need to make it sideways.
I was clandestinely recording. There was a lot of cops there, and she was being crazy.
Is that a cop right there talking to her?
No, that's just a guy looking for a
someone?
missing girl.
Oh.
He looking for someone?
What was he doing? That guy? He was just...
He was looking for some missing girl.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're one of the people in the room. Did she say that she's the one that's pregnant or crazy?
I have no idea.
Ignore the ding, okay?
Yeah, I got
What's
you.
wrong? Yeah, I'm just staying here. No, I'm staying with my girl. She's in there. Is everything okay? Yeah, I got a lighter. What's going on though? Is everything okay?
I have nowhere to go. I've been robbed, and now
They robbed you?
they took over both my rooms. They manipulated me. I'm a dummy. And out of nowhere,
What happened?
I was stupid. I let people take advantage of me.
Man, you gotta
What'd they
record this
do?
stuff.
Hey, little puppy, what's the puppy's name?
He's because he's scared.
Huh?
He's
He's cute. What's his name?
scared.
Lucky? Hi, Lucky. Aw, he looked at me. What's wrong?
You're so kind, Kyra.
What's going on?
They're gang.
They're taking you?
No, they're gang members.
Oh. Is something gonna happen?
She's kind of moving.
They're gang members?
She's moving strangely, like her whole body moves.
Are they gonna kill someone?
Me.
Why are they gonna kill you?
I don't know.
Yeah. So what'd you get out of that?
Don't stay in Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's what I got out of it.
I think you're on the inside corner. Like if you know how there's the inside corner where you can park. Is that where you're sitting, or is it on the outside edge? I couldn't actually.
I can't see the screen.
Well, I know, but I was just you remember though, right? Let me just look at it really
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. I'm standing like in the L. I'm in the corner of the L. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the entrance to the building is on the other side of her.
Yeah. Okay, I think you're
But yeah,
right there. I know exactly where you're at. You're
but
standing.
so like two people like OD'd there, and there was a bunch of cops there,
Mm-hmm.
and then that just happened out of nowhere. And then, you know, another person tried to sell me meth, and then that guy was looking for a missing girl. He was just randomly like, have you seen this girl? And then the next morning, when I was like trying to check out and get the hell out of Chattanooga, like literally like 5 cops came in showing everybody pictures of a different girl saying, have you seen this girl? And they even asked me, and I was like, no, I have no idea. Yeah, so that's my true crime story.
I know, but
that
you,
happened
but
like
you gotta,
a week ago.
I know, but you should just be recording all this stuff, man. Like have a GoPro on your forehead and stuff. I mean, it's just crazy the stuff that you see and deal with out there. You know?
Dude, I have to dump my GoPro. I have to dump gigabytes onto my external hard drive like every night, because I do record everything, and it's just freaking nonsense constantly.
Wow. No, but you could put together
Yeah,
some really
so-
cool, interesting things. You know, I don't know. It's
Yeah, I
just-
guess if people want to see crazy people, I don't know.
You know what's weird about that lady? When she turned her whole body, like as if her head was, like there was no vertebrae that had any other. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't move independently at all. It was just a board from her head down to the middle of her back or something.
See, I think what that was earlier when I had first checked in, and I had declined the guy trying to sell meth. She didn't decline. I think that's what happened, and she was just really fucked up.
I see. Wow.
She looked like it. She was like trying to get me to let her come stay in my room with me. How weird is that?
Well, her
like,
eyes
who would
were-
ever let?
What do you mean who would do that? We had the Chewbacca lady. You got that on every one of your shows, man.
Dude,
Every
I
night
wouldn't let
you-
her stay in my room either. I lied and said Becca was with me. I was by myself, but I was just like, oh no,
Oh,
my
yeah.
girl's in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's
Like-
but you have to deal with this every single. I think probably everywhere you go, right? It's just I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to be, right?
No, I usually stay in decent hotels. Like, I literally will just find the most expensive hotel and just stay there. Just because, like, that nonsense happens at, like, $50 a night spots. But, like,
Yeah.
Chattanooga is just a shithole. So you really have no choice but to be around it, you know?
Yeah, even the high end isn't really high end, right?
Yeah, not in Tennessee. Sorry, everyone that lives in Tennessee.
Gosh, Cairo, you're so mean. That's what Mary Lou would have said. Yeah.
Yes, I am. But that was my terrible true crime story.
I don't think it was terrible. it was
At
entertaining.
least I had video evidence of it. Well, at least part of it.
Yeah, it really happened. It really happened. But yeah.
I was more interested in the dog. I just wanted to pet the puppy. That's all I wanted.
I think you made her feel comfortable that you liked your dog. So good job there. You know, I
I'm
actually
a
just
sweetheart.
popped into my head. You remember that from a long time ago when you went to the Bag of Bones? The first time I think we ever
Oh,
did it.
yeah.
The Bag of Bones, man. That was crazy.
That was a cool show, though. That was a crazy story.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was talking to the lady in the restaurant.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You went to
Yeah,
the
is that-
restaurant. Yeah, that exactly. I think that was the first time we did something, right? Like, I think that was it.
I
Maybe.
think, yeah.
Right around there, anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bag
But
of Bones.
I heard a ding.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for calling.
I heard
in.
a ding.
Oh, there's 3 dings in there. Oh boy.
Jesus, there's a bunch of dings. I'm going to get off here. Enjoy your show. I will be watching.
Hey, we'll all have your back when your face shows up with Morphew and Chad Daybell up on that little chart. Okay, we'll all come in there. All right.
Okay.
Give us your
I appreciate it.
timeline.
I'm gonna need the emotional support.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a good one. See you later. Oh man. All right, 801.
Hi, Gray.
Hey, who's this?
Hey, who's this?
Oh,
my
Susanna.
name is Gwendolyn.
Oh,
B.
Gwendolyn. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going great. I hate the IRS right now.
You hate what?
Unfortunately, I hate the IRS. I work for the IRS here in Salt Lake.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the IRS. You know what's amazing is nobody likes the IRS.
Go ahead.
Even people that work there. You know, isn't that amazing? Yeah.
I can tell you that right now after like 8 or 9 months, yes.
Yeah.
But, okay, so a lot of you people that are like waiting for tax returns, unfortunately, they're kind of like consolidating things and they're kind of like going through other growing pains as far as that consolidating goes. And then guess what? I'm in the middle of all of that. And I have no actual, like, you know, basically, I don't have any way of, like, telling you when your tax return's going to actually arrive. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
It's been insane.
I filed mine way back in, like, January, February. I'm all done with everything.
So I have a fiduciary responsibility, even before I get hired, to actually get that all in order. And then I obviously did when I got hired, but then it's like, oh my God, it's insane. I've been working about 80 hours a week. 10 of that is maximum mandatory overtime. I apologize. I'm just trying to explain that, like, people are like, you work, and I'm like, yes, I do. Unfortunately, I do in Utah. Yes, I do. You know, but it is coming, and I have been fully vaccinated, and I actually love the fact that I've been vaccinated here, because in Utah, we don't have a max mandate anymore, and we're able to do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, the mask mandate. Okay, yeah. So let me ask you
ridiculous.
something. Let me just ask you something though. Why are you telling us about the IRS right now? I was just wondering if there was a nexus with a crime or some kind of. It's okay, but I'm just.
It's interesting. It's pretty interesting. Like just how slow the government moves.
Plods along.
Because yeah, like when you talk about, you know, donating to the favorite crime of your choice, yes, we all get very excited about it. And so for me, I get excited and then I'm like, oh my God. And so I remember like the 1961 Hitchhiker, literally, we only got a recent, you know, update, and I would love to see. So I think the private sector does so much a better.
Yeah, well, the 1961 Hitchhiker one is already heading to the sequencing. Apparently, they got so many.
I'm very excited.
They got such a large number of nanograms that they really feel like it's really likely that there's going to be a full DNA, you know, like genome or whatever the hell it is, like the entire thing in there where you can, you know, and then they'll have that. Then they send it off to a private person who then puts it into a format that you can upload to GEDmatch. And as soon as it's uploaded to GEDmatch, you immediately look down. It's an unknown person, but right below that person are the highest matches in terms of centimorgans. And what you look for is you want something probably, if you can get something 200 or higher, you feel like there's a chance, you know, 2 or 3. If you're like 50 or something, now you're, you know, 6 cousins, or, you know, it'd be really tough. But if you can get something, and here's the thing, when there's missing persons in somebody's family, a lot of those people will go out and actually put their information genetically out there so that maybe at some point in the future a match will be made. So.
And that's what I'm explaining, is that, like, literally I have put in money for that because I would love to see somebody like that actually, you know, identified, because that would be a real use of our money.
Yeah, well, I think that's what
that's
what we're doing, because I've already put well, you know, you guys donate to my channel to support the channel and the charity.
Of course.
And then I send money in, and right now we're up to 7,000 in the DNA fund, but I'm going to Well, it's actually 7,500 because Jeff matched, added another 500 directly. So at the end of this month, I think I'm just going to only put money in there and we'll get it up to 10, something like that.
Okay. Well, let me be blunt, okay? I'm going to be blunt, and I'm going to say this for all the fucking haters that I can't stand all these idiots, because I have certainly put the power over my money. I certainly know where I want to put my money, and I am certainly not a little baby. All these idiots that want to talk about trolls or whatever the hell they are. Let me explain this. If we wanted to put our money towards something else, we could. But the fact that you actually take the time to actually say, we're going to do it towards that, I appreciate that.
Well, cool. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm not hiding anything. You guys are sending...
No.
You send money into my channel to support my channel and charity. I donate a huge portion of the donations to charity, and the rest goes to keeping me able to do this because I spend 6 hours a day, basically, doing a show and 3 hours on the air. But before that, I got to get everything together and everything like that. And I do it 7 days a week for 365 days a year. So yeah, I've had maybe...
I don't blame you.
I probably have
like
4... I've had like 4 days off in probably... I don't know. It seems like maybe 4 or 5 days off total in maybe 2 years. Okay, so...
and that's what I'm explaining is, like, literally you explain what the situation is, and I can't stand people that are like assholes and they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what the fuck? Back in return, because like I choose to, obviously I choose to spend my time do whatever the hell I want as far as like, I listen to you. I'm not a very proactive member, but I do once in a while back that up. Hopefully you know that.
No, you do. Yeah, you've called in numerous times. I remember your
Several
first.
times.
I remember your first call. I think it was.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all. It was.
so
It was the
bad.
one at the. It was like a train station, right? That one.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, see.
And actually, I even did it with like, as far as like, I was like, okay, so it's not like that, like, big in mind, but like you were big on the whole, obviously the map thing, and I was like, all right, let's get that, and I did it, and I was like, oh my god, and actually I'm about to visit that same space this summer because I'm about to visit my family in the same hometown.
Yeah.
I don't generally tend to like rent cars when I'm from the area. And actually, you did a case from like that area, and I'm not like getting into cases, but I'm explaining that like unfortunately, Illinois sucks ass when it comes to like identifying bodies. It took them 10 years to identify the body that you were, actually referenced with me on.
I think New York's about.
It's ridiculous.
I think New York's just as bad. They had all these laws. We can't really. We got to get it approved to do this DNA stuff and everything. You would think in the Long Island serial killer case that they would have immediately jumped over to the Jane and Baby Doe. There's a mom and a baby, and you'd think they would just go, bam, let's go get these identified right now.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
I'm
like
explaining to you that literally, like, okay, so I'm just going to explain to you something very, very, like, unfortunately, very common, okay? I'm from Southern Illinois, which is very conservative. It just is, okay? I actually found out that probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I went to school there. I went to school there like years ago, like 2005 to like 2006, very recently, okay? Mm-hmm. And so unfortunately I found out that they like decided to the government there decided to not prosecute cases that were not in their own favor. And I'm not getting into like specifics, but I'm explaining to you that unfortunately it's bullshit that like the same time frame, so 5 years, okay, they're all about, let's get our schedule and let's get our shit straight. But then it took 10 years from one case
Wow.
for a woman that was unidentified. Does that make sense? So I'm not trying I'm not naming names. I'm being very, very nonpartisan here. But it's bullshit that it took 10 years for one case for a woman to get identified as deceased. And then 2 years where I went to college town because it was the college town and everybody wanted to, make sure that it was Illinois is, from my understanding, the second case as far as
listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
It's huge.
Hold on a second.
The fucking fact that I had to go with Blogovic, and I'm like, okay, so he's gonna have to figure out how to believe it.
Hey, let me ask you something.
Does that make sense?
Hey, watch this. Don't you think if they just use some digital DNA, they would have this sucker solved right away? Okay.
Oh, man.
I mean, I can tell you in 1 hour more than Gray
Do you understand why I've lived in Utah? Hold on. Do you understand why you lived in Utah for the last 15, 16 years? Do you understand that?
Yeah, because Utah's, it's better.
Even downtown Salt Lake. I mean, I have my issues with downtown Salt Lake because they're fucking liberal as shit and it's annoying.
Yeah.
But do you understand why I chose deliberately why I did what I did? I can't stand. Does that make sense? I hope it does.
It does. But you know what? I gotta go get to this other call. But you did get on this one too, and thank you for calling in and telling us about we're not going to get our damn tax money. Thanks a lot.
I'm going to be the most hated in the fucking text, aren't I?
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Everybody's going to I'm sorry. I'm just laughing my ass off because it's really the truth. I really do work for the IRS. I just have no actual tax authority. I don't have any way of saying whether or not. No, there's a lot of jobs out there that are just
there's actually 7 million jobs available right now that are well-paying jobs over $15 an hour, except nobody wants to do it because they're getting this massive bonus on their unemployment checks of $1,200 a month, where they're saying, "Well, shit, why would I go back to work when it'd be about the same?"
All right,
so they're not going to do that.
Hold on, Gray. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Okay, so Utah did not actually close down. We're one of the few states that did not. We did have a mask mandate, and actually a lot of our local ordinances have done that, which is fine. I'm fine with that. However, what I want to say is, if you're fully vaccinated like I am, there's no restrictions. None. And on top of it, not to mention, unemployment here is nearly non-existent because we didn't shut down. We have now hiring signs for fucking forever. And not to mention, I work 2 to 3 jobs. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a little pariah here, but I really do work my ass off. I really do.
No, I know, because you're probably somebody that values work and everything. There's other people who are like, I'd rather just sit at home, get the check as long as it's as much as I'd be making. But we don't have the same. Our country, people don't have the same work ethic that people used to have. It's sort of like, the government's got my back. They'll send me the checks. But what we got to do is hold on. We got to cut that off. The $1,400 extra stimulus for unemployed people needs to be dramatically reduced, within the next 2 months, and we'll see a lot of people going back to work again. And right now they're not, because they know that it goes all the way till November, where they can just sort of keep, filling out the.
Is it really November?
It's 6 months or
really?
It's a long time. But anyways, I gotta get.
September. But that's not the point. But I just want to make sure that you know.
Yeah, I gotta get the other caller though. So you gotta finish that last point. Say the last point really fast.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms? Oh, Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious. All right, see you later.
They are. Bye.
I do like them. All right, see you. Yeah, I used to like to get the little marshmallow parts and eat everything else, the little Cheerio flavored parts, until there were, at the very end, there was just the marshmallows floating in the bowl, okay? Those were good, all right? And don't forget, everybody, I'm just a cup of coffee, all right? I noticed none of you guys have sent me into on the island. I've been so nice to everybody. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's crazy, Jay, isn't it? It's wild. Must be redistribution at this point. All right, 816. Hello? You got to turn off the audio in the background, or I'm going to have to hang up. Yeah, it's you, but you got your damn audio playing in the background. It's just really loud. You got to turn down the show and just use your phone. No, hello? You got to use the phone. What are you talking about? What you got to do is you got to turn down the audio from the show. Let's see. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you've only been waiting for like 15 minutes, but yeah, what do you got? What's going on? Well, I don't care if it was 20 or 30. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't give a damn what you care about, man. Now listen to what I got to say.
Hey, listen, I'm going to listen to what you have to say if I want to listen to what you have to say. All right? So what do you got to say? What do you got to say? What bridge? Well, there's a lot of bridges out there. The Monon High Bridge.
The Monon High Bridge.
Well, that's not the only bridge that's out there. There's a lot of bridges. So
well, I don't know, but that's one of them that I...
All right, yeah, go ahead. So you're walking across the bridge.
Did they scrunch his height, or is he really that tall?
It's a video. He isn't really only 2 inches tall. It's an actual video that you're just looking at. It's not. They didn't blow it up to life size.
Well, I know not 2 inches tall. I'm just saying the original footage was about 6 foot. The second footage we saw, he's about 5'6".
Yeah, it's just a video of a guy on a bridge. You know.
Yeah, the guy that we need to catch, asshole.
Are you talking to him or me?
Talking to my buddy over there. You.
Wow. How much have you had to drink tonight?
All right, I have not had any.
Oh, okay.
But I've been wanting to call you for a long time.
Yeah. Anyways, what do you got? What do you have to say about it? What do you have to say about it? What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
I want to know everything.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, just call a different show, all right? But I'm not interested. Okay, I got rid of that person. God, what a ridiculous person. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, there's no way in hell that person wasn't drinking. I'll tell you what, man, if you watch 1 hour on my show and compare that with 400 hours on Gray's show, you'll learn a lot more on my show than on Gray's show. I know 75 people that were at the bridge hours before the girls were there. Okay, who gives a shit? Okay, I'm glad you know a guy named Jim who was there earlier playing hopscotch in the parking lot. Who gives a crap? I don't know who that person was. Hell, maybe that was him. Jay, maybe that was him, man. Oh my God, we had the killer call the show, for God's sakes. They'd been wanting to call for a long time. No, I'm not from the South. Yeah, hopscotch and applesauce. See? Hey, thank you, Rita Schaefer and Sarita, for the welcome energy juice. All right. No, Dan Carr was over there. He was funny last night. Yeah, Mary Poppins was over there. Tracy was over there. The freaks were representing, making sure that the wackos out there aren't credible, because they're not. Maybe it's time to get on my island for a little bit and get that one drink. Yeah, and Zozo would have been good. She just was blocked from some random comment she made months ago for no damn reason at all. All right, Kay Jones. Hey, there's Tracy. Kool-Aid? More Kool-Aid? I actually want people to go watch some of those videos over there. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Because you guys are all logical and have brains. If you want mind-numbingly stupid shit, you'll go over there and watch an image that's going, ooh, you know, making faces. Okay. Hey, Carolina Tea, I'm going to go get that margarita. Still Weather Spirits Gin and Tonic. Okay, I'm going to go get Alley Cake. All right. All right. Oh, and thank you, Kay Jones and Jen H. Kay Jones and Jen H. And also, Alley Cake up there. Carolina Tea, Cairo. And thank you. Yeah, I'm going to have Jim Beam Devil's Cut with some Diet Coke. A drink, okay? I'm not a boozer. Yeah, that's what he said. Somebody said that last night. Oh, Gray, he drinks every, you know, either. No, I barely have, like, if I have a drink, it's one. You don't like my jail? You don't like me being in prison? Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys. Thanks for the mini vacation there. Yeah, and the thing is, there's a bunch of them. You know, you've got Miss Wonderful, Jules of Thought, Greeno, Harvey. That just, it's whatever goes, you know. They just say whatever goes. I mean, they'll entertain any crazy shit. And see, that's where they're not really true crime at that point. They are in a realm of sort of reality TV meets, like crime. It's almost like crama, they call it. Drama and crime. Yeah, I know there's people that like some of those people, but I never liked it. It's just, whew, yikes. Anyways, who do we got up? No, nobody's on hold now. There was an extra person, but they probably were a troll and realized that they weren't going to get on. Someone called Mary Lou. All right. Well, some people call John Boy an asshole, so, you know. Maybe there's somebody that just doesn't like Mary Lou, because Mary Lou can be kind of a biatch, right? I mean, Mary Lou is always toying
Tumbler
with
glass,
John Boy.
Tumbler glass, tumbler
You know,
glass.
and that...
I do not, Gray. I never toy with John Boy.
Yes, you do all the time.
She really does, Gray. Thank you for defending me.
Okay, see? I just got confirmation. Right, yeah, that's right. There's a Mary Lou in all of this. There you go. Anyways, I do encourage people to go over and watch those, you know, I'm not even pumping Harvey's channel. What I'm saying is I want you to watch some of the ludicrous videos that are made with these images and image enhancements. I'm telling you right now that you can't enhance an image of somebody's face any more than it's been enhanced when there's no pixels available. There's literally only about 50 pixels on the face, and all you can really do is change the contrast, changing the light values of each of the remaining pixels. But as soon as you add pixels by changing it from 72 dpi to 300, you've already altered it where you can't get back what you originally had. So it just doesn't work, and a lot of these people think that they can, and they get all this praise and glory they feel, but they've done nothing but distort reality. Oh, I heard that, Mandy. God, that's incredible. Oh, and he worked on the, I mean, what panel I said last night, I go, how do you have time to be on all these panels? Or not, what do you call it? Like boards or whatever? Because I'm a lot smarter than you, Gray. I can do multiple things, even laying on my bed. Yeah. Yeah, think tanks. Yeah. How many think tanks can you? Thanks, Susie Heat. I like that little smiley. The lemon dancer. Yeah, what's sad though is there's actually people over there that believe what's going on, what he's saying. And anyways, if you guys want, you can call that number at the top of the screen there and tell us your brush with true crime. Might have been that weird moment where something was about to go down and you got out of it, or you were really there, or something like that. Now, I was there for like an hour, or at least an hour, like 2 hours. It's just amazing listening to it. You just go, wow, what planet are you on? And a lot of people think it's bad when people actually make an income doing true crime. But basically, all the true crime YouTubers out there do, like Danielle Hallen makes income. There's nothing wrong with it at all. John Lorden, I have an income that comes in, but at least we're doing it in a way that's respectful for the crime, literally just putting out the facts and trying to reasonably speculate on it. Okay, now if you think that's still shitty, then I want you to start writing letters to IDTV, HLN, A&E, all the channels that cover crime, because they definitely have ads. I've seen them, right? There's commercial breaks. It's amazing. And they're making revenue on crime cases. Okay, so it's just the way it is. If you don't like it, don't watch any of it, because YouTube makes money regardless on people's videos, even if you're not monetized. All right, awesome. So I don't want your little soapbox. Nobody's interested. Nobody cares. And it's just not true as well. What do you mean, wake up freaks? Yeah. But see, that's what I'm talking about, Dan. See, at least you got to see sort of firsthand what I'm talking about. And, he has a really low volume of views. but he is sort of in the Delphi community as sort of that crazy uncle that's sort of in the back. But he thinks he's the one genius that could have solved the case. But yeah, I thought it'd be interesting for people to actually see what's going on. So if you could, you should go check it out. You don't really want to know, funny lady. If you missed it last night, you just missed it. I play with Callaway. Hell, I forgot the name of the actual. They're a couple years old, but man, today I was hitting great on the range with the irons, and then boom, something just went really haywire. I just barely managed to get out of there. Forgot the actual what they're called. Yeah. He said, yeah, we looked into the van too. You know, we had the white van over there at the, well, listen, there was never a white van. See, the funny thing is these people can't even get the stories straight on the bullshit, okay? Minivan Traveler's the one that mentioned the brown van over at the pig processing plant. But it was a brown van. And now it's a white van at the pig, it just goes on and on and on. It never ends. Different story, different night. Yeah. Well, thanks, Kyra. That was a nice thing to say, yeah. I just talked to Morph the other day. We're trying to think of... We were thinking of doing an episode for Delphi, like an update of some of all the newer stuff that's out there since the podcast that we did. What case? What case are you talking about? Nothing worse when somebody makes a comment and then 40 comments later they reply, but you can't find where the original comment came from. Now let me see if I can find it. What case? What case have you been following for years? Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Jean-Benet Ramsey. Oh, God. I mean, I'm almost about to make a Chris Watts-like image of that one. It's like, come on, everybody. Just over and over and over again. So cliche. There's so many cases out there that are really interesting and have so much more like literal information in them. You'd think that they would get a little bit more yeah, we should do a spirit box session on the Jean-Benet Ramsey. What's my theory? I don't know. It kind of goes back and forth, like somebody in the family did something and the parents covered it up, or there really was somebody that came in and abducted the kid. Or not abducted, but killed Jean-Benet. Right? Could have been a lot of people think it's the brother, but then they covered up for the brother. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even want to... Nobody knows who killed. Nobody knows. So it's like we could just sit there and guess all day long. It's a little bit like the case in Madeleine McCann, It's just... Stupid! I hear stupid! I hear a dog bark. Mom? Oh shit, it said. You said mom and then it said oh shit. So I think what we were hearing there, that's what spirit box people do. They literally don't hear anything other than sounds, but tell you what was heard, and then now you all hear it. Okay? Why doesn't a spirit box sound like this?
Bitch, please.
You ever wonder? I mean, look how easy that was. You know what? I'm pretty sure that I heard bitch, please. Okay? I heard that really loud and clear. It was very clear. It was, you know, come on. Hey, thanks, Gwen. Oh, the Andrakio case. Yeah, I always thought it was kind of weird how the some of the friends. I don't have an opinion on it. I thought the murder where he died was a little bit strange. The locations of the bullet holes and how he was in the tub and everything.
Hey Gray, what are your thoughts on the Christian Andrakio case? Love your show.
Good. I am a professional having somebody spit the drink out of their mouth channel, okay? Because everything seems totally normal, and then BAM! All right? And then you laugh, and then that's what happens. All right, tell me what you hear right now. Listen. No, there's definitely stupid. You hear that? Watch it. Stupid, you know. But you know, I was wondering, why didn't the person just say stupid? Instead of went, oh, Yeah, that's when you know it's just absolutely, yeah, there's a woof there. Definitely is a dog bark in there. There's no doubt about that. What do you guys hear right here? Listen, listen.
Okay, bye.
Wow. Oh, wow. You know, I think they're actually saying to go buy something. Now, what was it that they wanted you to buy, for God's sakes? What is it? No, but that's what they do on Spirit Box, Shogun Love. These morons that pretend that they're literally tuning in to ghosts and other entities through a app that you buy on Apple. They're pretending they're actually tuning in. Yeah, hold on. Let me turn those knobs a little bit. But what they do is there's all these sounds, and they already kind of have a story they want to tell. So, of course, now they tell you that they hear these certain words that then lead you to the story. Oh, yeah? That's probably pretty smart there, Dan. Oh, yeah. You know what? I've been looking into the Watts case, too. It seems like it might be really interesting. Let me look it up really quick. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was solved 3 minutes after he did the interview on television. Yeah. So I probably won't be covering it. What is this? Oh, wow. Look at that. There's 1,000 people still covering it every single day. Oh, look at this video right here. The one that I'm looking at talks about what he had for dinner last night. And it turns out that there's these really devoted fans of his that have him send a little portion of his turds out of the toilet.
What are your thoughts on the Watts case? I just heard about it. Seems super confusing, a lot of details. I heard that Suman was analyzing the corn.
Oh, yeah, yes, and apparently Jane from Cincinnati just received an envelope. Of course, it was wrapped in tinfoil to avoid the foul odor smells at the post office, but when she was able to open up the tinfoil with a small quantity of Chris Watts's bowel movement, she was able to pull it apart with tweezers and found that he'd eaten corn, a little bit of spinach, and a slight amount of carrots. It's really wild. It's unbelievable, and we're documenting all of it, everybody, putting it into a spreadsheet and a chart, and eventually we're hoping to add that to our digital DNA metrics. Okay? All right. Boom! Can I get a boom? Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, because it was wrapped up in tinfoil there. Yeah. Thanks, Zozo. A little turd off to the side there. A turd that's smiling. Would a turd ever smile? You know when you work out and somebody smells underneath their arms and it smells bad? What would a turd do, man? Every second would just... Especially the anthropomorphic turds that you seem to be posting. A turd with a smiley face. Ah, poor Cindy. Poor Cindy. Tonight at 11, Chris Watts has changed his diet dramatically. Back to you, Jim. Yeah, they do fangirl him. Because a lot of these, there's actually a segment of people who thinks he's innocent, and it was really just the girl. And you know what? I don't even know if that's true, but I guess it is. I bet you $1 million there's a group of people that think he's innocent and think that she did it, and he's covering for her still. He's Nikki, or whatever the hell her name was. Oh yeah, remember that? Gag me with a spoon. Jesus, that's old school right there. So nobody else wants to call in and tell their stories? Or just talk for a minute, or... The next call is going to be, "Hi, this is Susanna." Thanks, Rita Schaefer. Nope, you've already called in this account. Oh, there you go. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Hey, did you see what Candy Girl said? She said that I'm so mean and I scare people away. See, just waiting to put a comment in. That means Candy Girl hasn't watched any bit of the show tonight, but thought she'd show up for that little bit to get the jab in. Okay, because there hasn't been any mean or anything, and there hasn't been on any other shows, but probably there was a show a while ago that you remember something. And that's your only opinion for the rest of your life. Okay. I know you were this account. That's why it said just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Yeah. Candy Girl's so proud. You know what she's probably going to do right now is screenshot it and post it in her little Facebook group and go, "Look at that. I said no because you're too mean."
You really are, Gray. You're so mean.
Yeah, I don't remember who's put you in timeout or whatever. If you're the one that said that you're an empath, then yes, I put you in timeout. Okay. Yes. If you go, "Well, I'm an empath," well, you're going to be put on timeout. All right? That's what's going to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you call up if you're in the chat and you start touting yourself as a psychic or an empath, you'll be timed out immediately because I don't want any of your comments to ever grace the chat room as it's published. Okay, really just yeah. See, we're just like a family in here too. Sometimes we get in arguments, sometimes we don't. You know, but we all. You know, listen, here's what's the coolest thing for me is that You guys have got me through some shitty times. I know that I've helped a lot of you get through crappy times, and we are all, we've just been doing a lot of great stuff with the charities and the just different cases we've worked on, getting a hold of law enforcement, really trying to make a difference. I don't want to know about it, Candy. I don't. Okay. Not really interested. Okay. Yeah, everybody out there feels empathy unless you're a sociopath, okay? Right? I definitely can feel, I can sense stuff that something's not right. It's really easy, it doesn't make me an empath. I'm not going to wear a conical hat with a star on it and a robe and say I'm an empath, everybody, and then brandish a crystal ball, anything like that. I don't need to tell people, oh, I'm an empath. You can just say, I feel, there's a lot of people out there that can feel what other people are feeling. You're not special, okay? You want to make people think you are, though. Oh, it gives you anxiety because you're an empath. They probably look at it and go, oh, Jesus. She's coming in again? Whoa. Yikes. Okay. Maybe, I bet you if when you go in to see a psychologist for being an empath, they must wear like a deep sea diving suit so that none of their emotions show to you at all, right? So they just kind of speak through. They have this like a little thing like this. It's covered up. Yeah. No, well, I think that you're I think it's cool if you feel like you're one of those people that can pick up on feelings of other people, right? But there's a lot of people that can do that, and it's not a weird. There's nothing strange about it. What you should do is just feel good about it. That you can do it like so many other people, and there's nothing unusual about you for you to need to see a psychologist on it. Just realize there's a lot of people like that. You can pick up on some of the feelings that people have. All right, 920. 920. Going once, twice. Hello? 920. You have to hit *6. Okay, hello. Yes, who's this? Kathy from Wisconsin. All right.
Gray, don't be mean to her, Gray.
I won't, Mary Lou. Okay, what's going on?
Okay. Many years ago, in fact, it was 1993, my daughter disappeared.
Yeah, where? Where from?
I was living in Plover, Wisconsin.
Clover?
And Plover, Wisconsin.
Like a 4-leaf clover?
No, P is in Paul, Plover.
Oh, Plover. Never heard of it. Okay.
It's a suburb of Stevens Point.
I've heard of Wisconsin, Stevens Point. Hey, let's just not to interrupt you, but 1989 Blazers, Terry Porter. He went to Wisconsin, Stevens Point. That's where he went to college. So there you go. Portland Trailblazer basketball. Okay. All right, so here we are. We're in Plover right now.
We're in Plover in 1993, and I was tending bar just up the street nights. And I got done around 2 o'clock in the morning, and I get up with the kids. My 12-year-old went off to school. I watched her from my porch get on the school bus, and then I went back to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I woke up with the phone ringing, and I got one of those auto calls saying that your child has not been in first hour and to call the school to excuse them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, what's going on? So I called the school, and I thought, well, maybe she was just late coming into class.
Can I ask you a quick question? Really, do you know the address or anything like that, so we can actually look at it?
Okay, so I lived at 2611 Hickory Drive, in Plover.
Okay. Yeah, we're I'm
In the-
almost there. Hold on. Let me get to the. All right. Yeah, so it's kind of like a.
Okay, and the
I'm looking at it. Oh, no street view. Okay, but I can see it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so if you look at the map, you can see a little drive called Nottingham Drive.
Yeah,
kind
right
of
there. Yeah.
just across the street.
Mhm.
That's where the bus picked her up. So I could see clearly from where I was at the porch, I could see her get on the school bus.
Okay. Right there.
Okay, so I called the school. The vice principal said, "Oh, it has to be a mix-up. I saw her this morning. I'll call you back." So I wait a little bit, and he calls me back and says, "No, she didn't make it to first hour, and second hour is starting." And I went to her classroom, and she's not in there either. I'm like, what is going
But
on?
you saw her get on the bus, right?
I saw her get on the bus.
Okay. Hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I call her best friend's house, and her best friend went to school. So I didn't know what to do. And about that time, I get a call from the high school principal. And he says, "I want you to call the police right away." I'm like, what is going on? He said a bunch of kids came in and from the high school. Now, mind you, she's 12. She's in the middle school.
Mhm.
And he said that they said they were going to pick her up and they were leaving the state. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I went into her room and I went
again? Who's saying this again? Your principal is saying no, she was there, or a teacher?
the vice principal of the
Yeah.
vice principal of the middle school where she went to school said that he had seen her in the morning, but she was not at first or second hour.
Oh, crazy.
And then
okay, go ahead.
And then the principal at the high school calls and says there's some kids that came into his office saying that she was going to get picked up by some high school kids and that they were leaving the state.
Your daughter?
Yeah.
No, okay, but why did somebody at the high school know about I mean, your daughter wasn't in high school, so how did somebody?
No, because
so at the high school there
the
was
kids
some,
with the
Yeah, go ahead.
the kids with the car were at the high school.
Okay, but somebody at the school was kind of narking on them, telling.
Yeah, because I mean they're running away. They're leaving the state. They're high school kids, and they're picking up somebody at the junior high school that doesn't seem right. You
And
know.
how old was your daughter? At the
12.
time? Just 12. Jesus, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah,
then,
so-
then what happened after that?
So I said, well, I need to find out who she's with, and he said, well, I'll see what I can find out. Well, he came back and he said, I don't know. He said, but how can I help you? Tell me how I can help you. And I said, I need a list of every single child whose parent has not called in yet to say that their kid was homesick from school. He's like, okay, it's going to take me a little bit, but I can do that. So while he's doing that, I called the phone company. I said, I have a missing kid. I need to have a second phone line put in, and I need it in as soon as possible. They were there within the hour. So then high school calls back, and he starts giving me this list. So I'm writing down all these names and phone numbers.
Yeah, but
I
hold
don't
on. But why did
recognize
you need a
any-
second? Why did you need a second line at your house?
Because in case she called in, I wanted to be calling out on the other phone. This was 1993.
Oh, okay. You were going to use the other phone related to the case, but you wanted to keep the line open for your daughter to call in. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So I wrote down the names, and I started making phone calls. Well, after about 2 hours of that, I said, okay, I got to call the cops. So I call the police department. Police department takes my information, comes to the house. We go through her room. There really isn't missing much. And she had a small backpack. I mean, it wasn't like she didn't leave her books behind and put clothes in it. So I don't know what she was thinking. So he said, well, let me know if you hear anything. Well, I didn't tell him what I had asked for from the high school because it was probably illegal for the principal to give me the information. So I made phone calls until 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got 3 kids that I knew she was with. So that's 3 o'clock. I managed to get some rest from like 3 to 7:30. At 7:30 in the morning, I started calling them back, asking if we could meet. And they're like, no, we don't want to meet. 2 of the kids, the parents were foster kids, and the other kid was a neighbor just up the street. They rode the same bus. So I really didn't know what to do. So about this time I get a phone call, and this guy says, hi, I can't tell you who my name is. He said, but I have your daughter. I didn't realize she was 12 years old. I said, where are you now? He says, we're in Tennessee.
Does that make sense to you? Like, did your daughter kind of look older, or just look like a 12-year-old? What do you think? I mean,
she looked like a 12-year-old. I mean, when she was tending bar at 19, she looked like a 12-year-old.
Okay. All right.
But I said, well, your first clue should have been you picked her up at the middle school. You know, like,
right.
What were you thinking?
Yeah.
I said, I need you to drive her to the nearest fire station.
I wonder if he was just
sorry.
like trying to recover from, like, he knew it was bad, but now he's making up all this stuff. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, I don't know what possessed him to call, but he called. So at this point, I know they're out of state. I called the police department back, told them what the guy said. He asked me a couple questions, and then he didn't say anything. So now I have kids showing up after school. They're showing up at my house. They're like, let me get you something to eat. I can answer the phone for a while. This is who, since this person and this person, that's how I found out that two of the kids were in foster homes. So the kids are there, and my boss calls from the bar. He says, hey, I need you to come in right now. I said, are you out of your mind? You know my daughter's missing. He said, no. Some of the parents are here. Just come down here and pretend to work. I'm like, okay. So I come in, and I'm tending bar, kind of, and I'm listening to what they're saying. And finally I stop him, and I said, look, I called all of you and asked you to get together and talk. You'd rather, like, two of you meet here and drink and not talk to me? Mine is the 12-year-old that's missing. Well, I know. So then we sat down and talked. Well, it turns out, I'm asking all these questions, and it turns out there was a kid in town for Thanksgiving, because this happened between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So this kid visited, like, at her dad's house, and all the kids were happy to see her and whatever, and then she left and went back down to Florida. I'm like, oh, I bet you they're going to Florida. So I got the address from them. I call the police department back. They're still, like, really not helpful. Then I find out that the person driving the car is 22 years old. I'm like, what? Oh, this is bullshit. So I call the FBI. This is a 22-year-old that is driving my daughter across state lines. The police department and the FBI told me she left on her own. We're not going to get involved. I said, she's 12 years old. She's under the age of consent. In the state of Wisconsin, she cannot consent to anything by herself. She can't, not medical care, not sex, not anything, let alone leaving the state. So I was, like, absolutely freaking out. And I called the FBI back late that night, and I said, look, you have to help me. You have to do something. He said, okay, the first thing I want you to do is call every state patrol between here and Florida. And I'm like, okay. He said, no, seriously, what happens is they get these bulletins, but they don't care. But if they speak to a person on the phone that's a concerned parent, they're going to get involved. And I said, okay. So I had found out that they're on the CB radio using CB handles, and I knew what they were because of these kids, right? So I give him the CB handles. My brother's a truck driver. He was just coming into town. I said, look, they're headed to Florida. I want you to get in the car with my dad, our dad, and head south. My brother's like, what? I said, I'm serious. I need you to get in the car, pick up dad, get in the car, and head south. I'll guide you as we go because I know where they're going. Turns out I was wrong, but so they headed south, and they get to must have been someplace in Mississippi, because we had found out that the police. Oh, I know what it was.
But this is the guy that called you originally and said, "I've got your daughter." Why did he keep driving around with her?
He was headed south. He was just taking the kids with him.
I know, but he called you to say, "Hey, I didn't know that she was only this age." Why didn't he stop somewhere and hand her over to somebody?
I said the same thing. I said, drop her off at a fire station,
Yeah, or anybody. Just, I don't get it.
Grocery store or something. He's like, no, I can't do that. I don't know. It turns out he was heading down to Texas for a job. And as I'm finding this stuff out and I'm calling the police department, I said, okay, I have a description of the car. I want the plate number. And they wouldn't give me the plate number even though they had it. So this is going on all throughout that next night. So about 3 o'clock in the morning, I call the FBI back and I said, okay, this is what's happening. This is what I know. The local police department is giving me a really hard time. Now, I've got a description of the car. I know who's driving the car. I know he's 22 years old. How come my local Plover Police Department will not work with me? And the cop says, I don't know. The FBI guy says, I don't know. He said, I'll call you back. So he calls Plover, and they're talking like it must have been over an hour. He calls me back again, and he says, at 7 a.m., he's going to tell you everything you need to know. He's going to answer all of your questions, but you have to wait till 7 a.m. I'm like, all right. 7 a.m. comes around. Turns out the car belongs to a Plover police officer. It was his nephew who had it.
I was kind of wondering about that when you said that's why they weren't helping. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out why they wouldn't. They kept saying, well, she left on her own. She left on her own. Well, yeah, but she's 12.
Right.
So then about 6 hours passes, and I get a phone call, and it turns out that it's from law enforcement. It was actually a juvenile detention center, and it was in Louisiana. Gulfport, just outside of Gulfport, Louisiana. I'm like, what? What is going on? So this guy says, well, we have your daughter here. There's a law enforcement officer here that wants to speak with you. I said, okay. So he gets on the phone and he starts talking to me, and he says, we pulled over the kids. He said there was a bulletin out for the car, and so it listed as stolen. Well, that makes it a risky stop. So I'm sorry, but your 12-year-old woke up this morning with guns pointed at her. I'm like, what?
Wow.
And
That's like 1,000 miles,
yeah.
right? Like 1,000 miles away.
Yeah. And so he says, I wanted to talk to you because I want you to express the fact that we picked up a serial killer in the same location that we found your kids parked. I'm like, what?
The same day or
what?
What?
No, it was 2 years earlier, but it was in the same location they got this guy. So I'm like freaking out. I haven't slept. I'm like, okay, my brother's due to call in. Let's see how close they are. They were 20 minutes away when they got the call to go pick them up. Well, by this time, the parents had heard, and the parents.
Why were they that? Why were they that close?
Because I had originally sent them to Florida and found out they were going to Texas, so they veered back over and started headed to Texas.
Oh wow! So they just happened to be getting, about ready to pass through.
Yeah,
they were in Louisiana basically when.
Right.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild. What are the odds, huh?
Right. And so, I had called I called the local newspapers. I called the radio station. I called 2 of the bigger city news stations. My daughter's missing and the police won't help me. And there was one little blurb of maybe 10 seconds one night. And then I get the parents are finding out that I found my daughter and that all the kids are locked up. And they're asking us to bring back their kids. And I said, hell no. Hell no. You wouldn't help me find her. You didn't want to meet with me. These kids are much older and they allowed her to go along. Why should we deal with your kids that are just going to run away the first time they stop and then you're going to blame it on us? I said, no. So I get the kid, they come home. We've got a lot of calming down to do.
Probably mad at your daughter just because it's like, well, even though she's 12, you're like, hey, what are you doing taking off with these people, right?
Right. We had a lot of healing to do, and it turns out the neighbor boy was going through a hard time at home, and she just felt like she needed to take care of him. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
But she's 12.
So,
Jesus.
yeah. So it was only maybe 2 weeks later, I get a phone call. Again, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And this girl says, hey, I heard you found your missing daughter. I need your help. I'm like, what are you talking about? She says, yeah, my daughter went missing and we have no idea what happened or who she's with. How did you find your daughter?
Well, I was going to say before all this that you sound like your daughter had a miracle mom. Like, just like, wow. I mean, what you were doing, trying to track down your daughter is something that I think a lot of people wouldn't know of or figure out how to do. Like, you just nailed it. So now you're like an expert. So somebody calls you up, right, and says, "Hey, you know."
Yeah, well, they heard the story. I mean, we were 20 minutes away. All the other parents are talking in the bars and stuff, and you know, it got around. Well, this girl that went missing, I don't know her. I don't know her friends. I don't have, you know, I can't get on the phone and beg people to help me or you know, come up with explanations why they should help me the way that I did with my own child. So I said, you need to work with law enforcement. You need to figure out, you know, think about anything that's missing. Think about anything that happened just before she went missing, you know. And we talked for a while, you know, and the best thing I could do is try to keep her calm. But I said, you have to be on law enforcement all the time. And it turns out that there was some 43-year-old man abducted her and held her for I don't know how long. They found him in a motel room, and it made national news. She's been on a few shows. She was a local girl from town. She actually bowled with my daughter, or she worked at the bowling alley, kind of helping out part-time, where my daughter bowled on Saturdays.
Well, you should have been on those TV shows, because what you did was, not that you wanted to be, but I mean, what you did was amazing.
Well, what happens is you're going to move mountains. You're going to go through hell and high water to get your child back. And it doesn't matter if you trust those people or not. What if they just left her somewhere? What if something happened on the road? What if that 22-year-old was drinking or on drugs and driving around? I mean,
well, imagine, you know how you remember how you felt at the time?
God, yes.
All right, imagine, well, you at least kind of had an idea where things were, she was, and things were going on. But imagine being one of those parents of the people that are missing for 30 years and never found it. Could you imagine?
It makes me sick.
Yeah, because you know that's how you feel every single day for those 30 years, right? Like
it's not just those people. It's the people who find out their children have passed. Because in your mind, you're going, what exactly? You want to feel what they were feeling. You want to see through their eyes. You want to know what it is they went through.
Yeah. But sometimes in those cases, though, at least you get an answer to that. This is what happened to them. I guess you don't know actually what happened to them, but you at least have them. But it's the people that you like, they're presumed dead and they're missing. That's the nightmare scenario where you don't even have an answer to anything and you're still in search mode forever. But at least when you find a body or something, you still want to know what happened, who did it to them, but you've got the body to at least bury and then move on to the chapter about figuring out what happened to them. You know, when you have a missing person presumed dead, that's I think the quintessentially worst scenario right there. But I mean,
I know you don't sleep. You don't. If you eat, you don't remember eating. It's something that it tears you apart. It literally just tears you apart. And I can't imagine what those parents go through that haven't gotten their children back.
I think it's like, you know, when grief is sort of similar. Like when I had a brother that passed away and at 22 years old and just total shock. And everything you're doing for weeks, it seems like you're just kind of, you don't remember doing anything. You just kind of do it, you know, and then eventually you can sort of come out of it at some point because that's a death. But a missing person case, it seems like you would be like that in that weird state for a long, long time. But
well, yeah, you can't really. You have survivor's guilt. You have, you know, what should I have done differently? You question everything that you did and didn't do. I mean, I just cannot imagine. I mean, even with all that I did and how hard I worked, I still, you know, I felt guilty. I didn't see the signs. I mean, my dad and my husband, they didn't see the signs. No, nobody saw this coming.
Well, how's everything going now?
Oh, she's actually an officer in the Air Force, and she's got 2 kids and a grandchild of her own.
Did she ever come up to you and say she's sorry that she put you through that?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Okay, there you go. See, there's a lot of kids out there, you know, I think I was even one of those kids, where you, when you become an adult, you finally realize how right your parents were and how stupid you were at certain things, right?
Yeah.
And you sort of get why they were doing different things. What is your name again? I don't even know if
Kathy.
Kathy, okay. Are you in the chat a lot?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a member, and I've sent you a few emails.
Oh, okay. Yeah, is there a is that your name actually? Just Kathy, or is it?
Yeah, Kathy.
You have a YouTube name.
Kathy
okay.
Mallon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow, that was a crazy story. That was one of the. That's exactly what I'm talking about when people call in. Everybody has well, nobody has a story quite like that one, but everybody has a story of some kind of close brush with true crime. So everything got.
Hey.
You got at least you got. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, if anybody's child does go missing that you know, impress upon them. Start calling the state patrols. They need to hear a human voice on the other end that somebody cares, and then they're going to work harder to help try to find that car, try to find that child.
Yeah. Kind of makes sense too, right? Because they're actually hearing somebody, and it's not intangible. Now it's tangible.
It's not a
You
piece
hear
of paper
voice.
coming through
Yeah.
on a fax machine.
Right, exactly. It's like now you've got a voice, you hear the concern, let's do everything we can. So it kind of makes sense. How were you able to find all of the different places, though, in between or around an area? Because there's so many, right?
We couldn't. They were still heading south into Texas. I mean, you know, they didn't know where to go in Texas yet. We were hoping we would find out. I was working on that. I had some of the kids trying to reach out to this 22-year-old's family. How the 22-year-old knew the 15 and 16-year-olds, though, I don't know. I really don't. I never did find out.
Yeah, so your daughter was the youngest of all of them, right?
Yeah, she was 12.
So what was this person doing? Why were they? I mean, it almost feels like they were gonna traffic people. Like, what was?
Well,
why would he be collecting all these kids to go on this trip? It's weird.
I don't know. Maybe it was gas money.
I don't know, man. There's something a little bit. I mean, maybe there isn't anything nefarious, but it sounds really odd to have a 22-year-old collecting these young kids to go on this trip where he had a job or something lined up, right?
I don't know if he actually had it lined up. I just knew that he wanted to go to Texas to work in the oil fields.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring this merry band of little kids, you know?
Right. Like, what was he going to do with them when he got there?
They need to look a little deeper into that. Hopefully they did. Have you ever tried to figure out what that kid was up to later in life?
I don't know.
Do you know his name? You should send it to me in an email. I'll check it out.
I know his last name, but I don't remember his first name. My daughter would tell me. I know he.
Well, I don't know if you want.
Do you want to know the serial killer's name?
Yeah. Well, don't say Henry Lee Lucas.
No.
Okay.
It was the cop called him Donnie Evans, but it's Donald Leroy Evans.
Yeah. How many kills?
I don't know. I think only 3.
Oh yeah. There he is.
But
Got a bald-headed guy. Well, he had hair at
yeah,
one
yeah,
point,
that's
too.
him. The cop called him Donnie.
Let me see. Let me see if they've got the Murderpedia. Yep. He killed... Wow, number of victims is 3 to 60. They don't know.
Yeah, I think they got him on 3, but I don't know about the rest.
Wow.
But he was trying to impress upon me that a very bad person had been in that exact same area, and who knows what could have happened.
I wonder why he wanted to tell you that, since it didn't seem related.
He wanted to scare the kids, particularly my daughter being only 12.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Wow. Well, anyways, I appreciate you calling in to tell the story, Kathy. That was one of our better...
Thanks for listening. It was pretty crazy time.
Well, no, you should be really proud of yourself for how you... I mean, you basically... I think if it wasn't you, it would have been a long time before she was found. I think you just really got the ball rolling and just boom, boom, boom. It seemed like you knew exactly what you were doing. It almost seemed like you were instinctively being a detective or something. It was weird. I mean, getting the
I
phone,
was hell-bent on finding her.
I mean, getting the phone, calling all the... the different, the friends, and it was kind of neat. Your boss was really cool that worked at the bar because he knew that you could get some information because they were there chatting up a storm, so he had you come over there. Right? So you had a lot of cool things working for you, and you did it. So good job.
I did it. Thank you. The one person I would have to thank is that FBI agent that I spoke to real early in the morning that got on the Plover Police Department's butt and said, hey, this lady knows what she's doing. She's working hard to get her daughter back. You need to do something. And what the guy did was he listed the car as stolen so that the cops would take it seriously and stop them and look for them.
Oh, that's a good way to do it. I gotta tell you, the FBI are really amazing. I've had some threats in emails where people threaten all this crap. And I called, they literally call you back and talk to you and get all the information.
Yep.
I sent them all the screenshots and all that stuff, and then they look things up, and they'll even respond like, hey, I checked this out, and let me tell you what I found. I mean, it's pretty amazing, that there's literally sort of hands-on personal contact when there's something like that going on.
I had one bad experience with the FBI that some other time I'll call in and tell you about, but I had met a murderer who had absconded with a child that he did not have custody of. And I had family that were witnesses. We spent time with this kid. He had given my nephew his phone number. And later on, we saw it on Unsolved Mysteries. And the interesting thing about Unsolved Mysteries is the guy had tics, like the way he pushed up his glasses and what he did with his eyes. And it was absolutely the two of them that we saw. We spent time with in a truck stop. And, the FBI guy didn't believe me. And later on, we ran into the same guy. It was crazy.
Yeah, well, I think FBI, I really, I love law enforcement, FBI, everybody, but FBI, really, I was kind of shocked. I mean, they had like a cyber, it was a cyber threat, and they really jumped right on that. It turned out it was some kid in the UK. I actually found him on YouTube as with the name that popped up on the screen. I found him. I don't know how the hell I did that, but he sent me an email, and it turns out it was the same. See, I've done these Zoom calls, right? And then sometimes people call in and they have video, and I can see it over here. And then I saw it was a little kid, so I just, he was a younger person, so I hung up on it. And then I got an email saying, I'm going to cut you and do all this kind of crap.
Oh my God.
So, I looked up that name, the email address and then it ended up on a YouTube video, and I could tell that was the same kid. So when I was communicating with the FBI person, I said, hey, you see this? This guy, he goes, yeah, I think that's him. He goes, I think you're okay. He lives in the UK. So they were all over that shit. I mean, so all these people think they're so cool, cyberbullying, throwing out these emails to people, well, they better look out because the FBI doesn't goof around on that shit. They really take it seriously.
As they should. I mean, who knows what could happen?
Yeah.
Especially you doing true crime.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy that there's people that get so butthurt about something where they think they want to threaten you and stuff. It's like, dude, what is your deal? Just move on. Don't watch my channel or do something else, you know?
But just like me, you did your own legwork, so you had something to give them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you gotta do it.
I do cyber stalking too. That's how I can find, like, I would do...
Wait, reword that.
Like,
reword that.
Well, I'm able to find things by going on social media with my family history stuff. Like, I started doing the DNA through GEDmatch, and I can find people, but you have to use multiple things to do it. I've found multiple people now that were only 25 centimorgans from me, and figured out exactly who they were.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. That's how I got shown how to do it all. There's about 7 or 8 different sort of websites and programs that you use. Utah, there's this genealogy site that the Russian, well, it used to be, I think it was a Mormon company, but then they got rid of it, but a Russian company picked it up because it's really, it's really useful, and they just kind of make money off of it because you have to buy it for, I don't know, $20 or something, but it has all kinds of stuff in there. You have like literally 10 different programs, and then you build a tree on, I used Ancestry.com, and you can just build random trees, and then you use the GEDmatch, you put your name in, like I'm pretending I'm a criminal, you put my name in, and then I try to find out who the highest centimorgan match is by their email address. You look that up, try to find them. Then you use other websites where you can kind of go back and get historical records, census stuff, where it has the name of everybody in their family. Then you load out the tree there, then you look, it just goes on and on and on. It's really pretty fascinating.
And it gets hard when you get down to where there aren't any more records. Like, back in time, I can find anything. I started doing this way before anything was digitized, so I had to do pound the pavement. My grandfather had a whole bunch of kids, and I tracked down as many of them as I could. We had my grandfather's name, and that's all we had. And I found the family. I found where my grandparents had lived. I had found all kinds of things. Well, with the DNA, I am really going to town. But I found that I had one where the closest centimorgan one I couldn't identify.
I did. Well, that's the thing. When I pretended that I was the criminal, that's how this lady was teaching me. You just pretend you don't know who you are, and then you try to find the closest match and have it lead back to you again. Well, when I put it in there was one at 600 or 800 centimorgans, which is like, that's a close relative. But I just happened to know, based on where it said this person lived, that was this person that had just come forward to our family recently, and she was the daughter of my mom's sister who was given up for adoption at birth. So I knew that, and thank God, because how hard that would have just ruined the little class that I was doing, right? Because it's like, there's no way in hell that would lead, you'd just be stuck, right? So I just got rid of that person, and we went to the one below that. Because you can't, when somebody's adopted, you're pretty
Imagine that
toast.
you didn't know that. See, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Before, so you don't know this person because you didn't know the family had given away a child, right?
Right. So you'd have this huge match.
Centimorgan match.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Was the hardest for me to find because of the same situation.
Right. And so what you do is you end up going to you still go through all the next matches too, anyways, when they do this stuff.
Right.
So you're eventually going to go to the one that starts making sense. But what's crazy is I knew who I was, and you know who you are. It's doing it when you don't know who the 1961 hitchhiker. It'll load in there. Nobody knows who it is, but you have to find through the trees what makes sense, and then you start. It's just crazy. Those people who really have it just dialed in, they're kind of fast at it. They're
Well,
pretty
you
amazing.
have to go on Facebook, and you have to
Yeah.
use one of those paid sites where you look
Yeah.
up a person
Yeah, I use.
that's
I have a
close to
couple of
them,
those.
so you can figure out how they're related and where they live and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I feel funny doing it, but that's how I found people.
No, you use Facebook. That's exactly right. You use Facebook all the time. You also use things like, what's that one? Ah, shit. You know, the it's one of I pay for a service where you can actually look up people's criminal records, or you know, it's just boom, you just type it in.
Yeah.
What's it called? Crap. Anyways, it works great because it shows you their relatives, shows you all their addresses, shows you just about anything you kind of need to know to, you know, build trees. It's amazing.
It is. Well, it was great talking to you. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Well, that was an amazing story. Thank you for sharing it with us.
All right.
Well, seriously,
Bye-bye.
though.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one. All right, bye. Yeah. Kathy. That was crazy. Kind of messed up with my chat over here. Yeah, thanks for the call, Kathy. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I think I might be able to get to follow along a little bit on the 1961 Hitchhiker. See how that goes. But I might not be able to share what I'm seeing, but at least I'll get to maybe at the very end fill you guys in. Yeah, Kathy. There she is. Kathy Mallon. Oh, that's right. I've seen that name 1,000 times. I don't know why that just didn't pop into my head. Now that I visually see it. Yeah, it was fantastic. Oh yeah, been verified. That's the one. Been verified. Works really well. I also use this one called Free People Search. Then there's actually this family. Let me see this. I think it's this Family Tree Maker software program. It's not really expensive. You know, I'm just opening it up. I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, so there's a software program here where you add in different things, and it's pretty crazy, you know. Like these hemstras here were somebody in a tree of mine somewhere that I was trying to locate. But anyways, yeah, so I have all this stuff loaded up on my computer for when I do stuff, when I look into it. So there you go. Oh yeah? Who you guys talking about? Shogun, who are you talking about? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, she's a terrible person. Yeah, and I don't know why she doesn't realize that what she's doing isn't just wow. It should be like I don't know if the word jewels is the correct term. It should be like I don't know. Jeez, it's just you guys are crazy. Crazy. Well, I don't know if anybody else is calling in tonight. We've been on here for 2 hours and 46 minutes. Kathy wins the call of the day. Absolutely crazy. stuff going on there. Kairos was interesting. So was this account. And Gwendolyn telling us about the IRS and how we're not going to get a goddamn thing in the mail from them. Wow. We're not going to get a check anytime soon. Thanks, Gwendolyn, for that cheery... that's pretty good. Yeah. So guess what I'm going to do tomorrow, everybody? I got my Sunday Delphi Live. Oh boy, that's going to be a good one. Get the popcorn ready and just... Oh yeah. I don't really know what time. Oh, here, I'll tell you in a second. I haven't talked about Delphi for the entire week. Let's see. So maybe at something like it might be earlier in the day, like 3 o'clock or something. Would that be cool? 3 o'clock on a Sunday, my time? Oh, yeah, she does that kind of stuff all the time, Holly. Yeah, Jules of Thought always attacks people because it's called clout chasing. You know, if you even mention her, like saying, boy, she really was absolutely incorrect on that. You know, really excited about the kung fu aspect of the case. You know, it's, you know, so if you say something like that, she gets really upset and then makes an entire video about you. But in reality, she's just so fantastic. Yep, Pacific time. Yeah, she's from back in the day where, yeah, the Miss Effing Wonderful and her always teamed up on stuff, and they were just really racist and saying things that people shouldn't say and supporting each other. And it was just, you know, they always say Gray thinks he owns the Delphi kit. I don't feel like that at all. What I do is I defend when people put out information that is absolutely known to be false, or you're trying to sensationalize it. You can talk about the case 1,000. There's lots of people who make videos on it. You don't see me talking to them. I just talk to the people and talk about and mention the people who put out absolute trash and garbage information. And that's the channel we were on last night after the show is exactly what I'm talking about. And if anybody spent 2 minutes watching any of those videos, you'll see how ludicrous it is. Unbelievable. I think it's funny when he keeps saying, now listen, you watch 1 hour of mine, you watch 1 hour of his, your brain, you will be way dumber than you were prior to watching those. You are now all dumber for watching that for an hour. That's crazy. Yeah, we don't... I just mention it every once in a while. Like, hey, yeah, don't watch that, man. It's garbage. And all of a sudden, they get so butthurt. How about don't put out garbage? Put out real stuff. Who's she, Abby? Oh, what's her face? Yeah. I have a video of a guy that was on my channel talking about Barry getting beat up. He came on my channel and actually talked about how he beat up Barry Morphew. I think it was a real story the way he told it. But well, it's not a video of the fight, it's just the guy talking about it. No, it's not. There's no for. Yeah, there's no for anything. She's not forethought. It's of. Probably should be something more like drools of not or something. I don't know. Come up with another one. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Yes, Barry Morphew lived in, I think, within 40 miles of Delphi at one point in his life. And just because he's this other famous person related to another case, now all of a sudden he's a Delphi killer. I think the one that Harvey, you know, if you were going to say jump the shark on, you know, putting out something so ludicrous that you, was when he put Chad Daybell on this chart. What in the hell does Chad, what possibility does Chad Daybell have to do with Delphi? Chad Daybell helped kill 2 kids to get him, make his life free with the girl that he was about to be with. It has nothing to do with the Delphi case. Chad Daybell isn't a pedophile or like a person interested in molesting young kids or anything like that. It has nothing to do with any about his motive or anything like that. So the fact that he puts that into the Matrix, the kill zone, yeah. Okay, it's mind-bogglingly idiotic that you even have Chad Daybell's face within 1,000 miles of anything related to the Delphi case. Hey, thanks, Kay Jones. There you go. I knew Dan was going to come up with a better one. Pools of snot. Yahoo! There we go. There we go. Yeah, what's going on that Pools of Snot channel? Well, you know. Gene Fish hasn't commented for like 20 minutes. And then somebody laughs at something Gene Fish said. This account said, LOL, Gene Fish. And then you scroll up and Gene hasn't made a comment for, she said Monday in the UK. Oh, then, oh yeah, drools for fools. No, you can't, that doesn't rhyme now. Yeah, that doesn't rhyme. Dan Carter had a rhyme. Yeah, Dan Carr had the one that actually... Drools and... How about drools? And thoughts. Yeah. Snot. I gotta go find it again. What was it again? Ah, crap. Oh, pools of snot. There you go. I like that one. Yeah, but stools of pot doesn't make any sense. That doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Stools of pot, pools of drool. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about it anyway. Yeah, she'll do what she does. She's always digging. She used to always throw little digs in every 2 seconds. And that's because her analysis of cases is absolutely terrible, with tons and tons of wild speculation, stuff that a moron wouldn't think of, okay? So it always shows up in the videos and you start going, oh God, oh Jesus, how can you possibly... And that's why she loves to say, no thought is stupid, everybody. No, yes, you don't want to know something, everybody? Yes, there are thoughts that are stupid. Okay? Now, when police say that, they just want to make sure that everybody says anything that they're thinking so they can weed through the absolutely moronic comments and get to the ones that are actually worthwhile. But believe me, behind the scenes, they get stuff and they just go, God, that's stupid. Okay? So that's the truth, everybody. So not every thought is a good one. Okay? 1 + 1 does equal 2. Unless, of course, 1 is the word 1 and it's a variable that equals whatever the hell you want it to be. So in your case, well, ONE equals 1.5. And then if you add 1 + 1 in that case, you'd have 3. All right? But that's not really how anybody ever thinks about it. Yeah. Yeah, there are dumb thoughts out there. Okay? Like, that is not a face in the grain of wood. Okay? We don't need to look into it. We don't need to zoom in on the grain of wood and see that it's not a face. We just inherently know that it's not a face because we're not idiots. Okay? Now, I know that there's people that see the face in the wood and they want you to look at it as if it's a great novel idea, but that's just not going to happen. Okay? Nobody with any brain at all looks at that and says, my God, that really is a face in the wood. Of course, it's squished down, and there's these weird lines around, and there's got this and that and the other thing. Just like look at that little paint chip that looks like me. I know that it's not me. It just was funny that it looked like me, and I know why it looks like me. It's called pareidolia. Okay? It just happened to have a shape that looked like a human object, and by the way, it looked like me too, with a visor and a goatee and everything. It's crazy. No, I don't understand. I don't understand why anybody wants to look at it. It's a grain of wood. Don't look at it. Yeah, I can tell you where it is. I actually, if I open up, let me show you this really quick. So just know this, everybody. There are dumb thoughts out there. Not all thoughts are really good and useful and need to be considered. Okay? They just tell you that so that everybody throws in their thoughts and they'll weed through the garbage. Unfortunately, you're wasting a lot of their time by putting out nonsensical stuff to them. Hey, officer, is that really a face in the grain of the wood? I just need to know. No, it's not. Okay, thank you. Jesus. Hopefully you guys find that that's what you guys like the most about my channel, is that I don't spend time on that stuff. Now, every once in a while, that stuff is real, but if you want to have the best bang for your buck, the best use of your time, don't do that. Don't waste your time on it. Go to something else. All right, here I can show you where people were saying, that's a face, look! All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. Right there. You can't even see it anymore. But there was like a couple eyes, and that was a mouth. I think it was like an eye there, and that was a mouth. Okay? What they never showed anybody was that you zoom out on it, and it's just a piece of wood. Okay? So you understand? Like, that's what people have to deal with for months and months, just talking about shit like that. I'd rather just spend time joking and ridiculing that kind of stuff, because it's pure insanity is what it is. No, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. If you were around, I bet you even Mary Poppins recognizes that, because she's been around for, I think, basically the whole time. And there was like a, right there was a grain of wood, and there was some kind of, like if you put some filters on it, you could see a couple eyes and a... Oh yeah? Was it a good one? Show again? There was a lot of comments over there. I read them. No, we're not using the spirit phone. Hey, but hey, LM, what do you think this means right here? Go ahead. Let me tell me what you think this means. I heard it. He said, "There's somebody here." You hear that one little whisper? It said, "There's somebody here." Listen to that again. Listen to it again. Listen. Look it. Look it. There's somebody here. Why? Somebody. It's somebody else. I think it says, "It's somebody else." Let's do it again. Let's do it one more time. Oh my God! We figured it out.
But Gray, what does it even mean when he says it's somebody else?
I don't know, but oh wait, you're right. Yeah, what does it mean? It's somebody else. That's about as vague as you can get, Mary Lou.
You're exactly right, Gray. How's that going to help anybody?
I guess it really doesn't. Thank you. Yeah, no, look at. I tell you what, if you say look at enough, it'll definitely, people will start seeing something. All right. I'll tell you what, if you sent this over to Harvey right here, he would animate it and have these lines wiggle around with a voice coming out of it. And of course, he'll put the little tongue sticking out and have it wiggle around, because that's what he does in video animations that he does with videos. And you guys got to see it, man. I can't even explain it to you. So pretty soon, Harvey's going to have this picture right here, and he's going to animate it. Right next to the dog-faced boy. Does anybody know what television program that was from? You're a freak. You're a computer. Right next to the dog-faced boy. Come on. Yeah. Nobody knew the answer. Okay. Love. Love and peace. Peace, hope, humanity. These are the things that make us human. They sought you out. Their mission was still one of peace. That's right, Star Trek, yeah. They sought you out. Our mission is still one of peace. Love. Love and peace. Peace, hope, humanity. These are the things that make us human. Yeah, there you go. Captain Kirk. That's right. You. Yeah. Thanks, Zozo. Anyways, I think I'm done, everybody. 3 hours and 5 minutes. Yes, I am rambling tonight, Harvey. I've rambled for a little bit of time, but it's not really rambling like you do, where it's a droning effect, where people get lost in a quagmire of nothingness. We're actually having fun and joking around about things. All right. Excellent. Yeah, definitely go over and check that stuff out. And do not subscribe. Just watch the travesty unfold in front of your own eyes. You know, Dan Carr seems like a smart guy. I bet you when he went over there and watched any of those other videos, he probably was like, wow, I know exactly what Gray's talking about now.
Gosh, Gray, you're so mean. Why can't people just make videos the way they want to?
They can, but why can't I say when something's terrible?
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, why can't you?
Yep, that's what I just said. Thank you. Who cares what the channel's called? It's a joke. Alright? Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. As long as you can get some good thoughts out of it. You know, a nugget here and there. A grain of thought. That's what it should be called. A grain of thought. Not a jewel. Nothing positive about it. Just a grain. Just some kind of a mind-numbingly stupid grain of thought. Alright? It didn't even rhyme, but I like that better. I'm trying to think of something that was sort of like a, you know, an element of some sort. I don't know what that means. Gray, since I'm new cam. What does that mean? I need full sentences. Curds of nuggets. Oh man. Like sand through an hourglass. These are the days of our lives. Have you guys ever seen Shatner when he sang Rocket Man? Well, it's you can't really say he sang Rocket Man. He thought he was singing it, and I actually thought it was a joke at first. But and also go watch Leonard Nimoy do Bilbo Baggins. That one's pretty good. Some actually really pretty women in that thing. And it was from like 1960 something. It almost looks like today for some reason. But anyways, watch the one with Captain Kirk when he does Rocket Man. You want to hear? You want to see how it goes? He's like this. He's like this. Pack my bags. Last night pre-flight. 0 hour. 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then. And there's all this music playing around. Oh god, it's hideous, man. Go check it out on YouTube. William Shatner, Rocket Man. Okay. And then Bilbo Baggins with that's some good shit. Here, let me hold on a second. I have to actually play the audio of it. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. It comes up first. Listen to this bullshit here. Listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bernie Taupin.
In 1972, when Elton John and...
Yeah, whatever. Dude. It's like, yeah, they introduce him like it's at some award ceremony, you know? Like, oh god. It's just look at it. Look. That's it right there. Look.
She packed my bags.
Last night, pre-flight.
Last night, pre-flight.
Oh, yeah.
0 hour. 9 a.m.
This is awesome.
And I'm gonna be
high as a kite by then. Listen to the music coming in too. Oh shit, come on. Oh god,
kite by then.
It's just garbage, man. Anyways, Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can do the other one. Nimoy with Bilbo Baggins. Where is it? There.
Little hobbit whom we all admire. Bilbo Baggins, he's only 3 feet tall.
Oh, yeah.
The bravest little hobbit of them all. They just like to eat.
Yeah, look at that.
They
Look at
live
that.
alone, but what? To help some dwarves get back their gold that was stolen. Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all. Well, he fought with the goblin Gollum. Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all.
Come on. Listen, let's be honest here. Spock and Captain Kirk they weren't really great singers after the show, right? You know. Pack my bags. Last night. Pre-flight. 0 hour. 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a cat by then. Yeah, anyway, you go check it out. It's hilarious. All right, everybody. Well, thank you all for showing up tonight. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys at least had some. There was interesting stories, a little entertainment value. Oh man, uncredible, as they say. So thank you to Scott Holland. Started it off tonight with Rita Schaefer, Kentucky Churt Guide, Dustin Schaefer, related to Rita Schaefer, Gwendolyn B. Thank you very much for the cat eye donation. Then we had Cairo, Rita Schaefer, Pamela D, Kimberly Sheets, Rita Schaefer, Amber Maiden, Attacor 21, Darrell Greggs, thank you, man, and Rita Schaefer, Karen Price, Rita Schaefer, Sarita, Tracy, Carolina T, Cairo, Allie Kate, K Jones, Jen H, Jessica Schubach, Susie Heath, Gwen, Cairo, Zozo, Rita Schaefer, K Jones, and Cindy Lynn. Oh, thank you very much. And there was also a hold on a second. There was a oh yeah, that idiot that was in here said, "You're childish." She sent me $1 just to tell me that I am childish and very disrespectful. An empath doesn't mean you feel more special than anyone else. That's not what I said. I said an empath, she says, you don't have to worry about me watching your show anymore. I don't care if you watch it. That's not what I said. Okay? I said an empath is somebody who can feel the way other, having empathy means you can feel the way other people feel. So you can feel how somebody's feeling over there, right? You can sort of, in a room, you can sense how people feel. She said, no, it's really when you're emotional. That's not true, okay? You're an emotional person. No, that doesn't mean, that's not what it means at all, okay? That I don't care if you don't want to watch my show because I'm not into psychics and people who call themselves empaths and things like that, all right? That's okay. It doesn't bother me one bit. And then there was another one. Oh, yeah, and then Paulette Leonard, thank you very much, sent in a cat eye donation on PayPal. So thank you very much. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. I did say that. I said that it's good that you can feel that way. You shouldn't consider it something you need to see a psychologist about, because lots of people have empathy like that and can feel what other people feel. All right, so you don't need to see somebody. You should just feel cool about it, that you can feel. So anyways, do what you got to do out there. I don't care. I was just saying, you don't need to call yourself an empath. There's a lot of people that actually have empathy and can feel that what other people are feeling. You go into a room, you can tell people are upset, or you know what they're feeling. Yeah. So, anyways, but I just read what she wrote so that you'd know that I don't have anything to hide. I'm just saying what she wrote. But it doesn't bother me. I wasn't mean. You know, I didn't want the comments in there because I'm just not into that stuff. But when she came back on, I said, you know, it's cool that you have those feelings. Lots of people have those feelings. You don't need to have a special name for yourself. Everybody just... No, I don't care if she's back or not. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah. Here's the thing, somebody. If you don't like my channel, just don't show up again. We don't need to go through these little games back and forth. Do what you want to do. I just like people that are here that find some value. You know, whether it's the cases that we cover or just sort of the camaraderie that we have working on different cases and making a difference. You know, whatever you find useful for yourself, and you know, if you find it valuable, then you know, boom, let's do it. But if you're just somebody that's just angry all the time and you don't like my personality, well, guess what, man? I'm not changing it. I'm not changing my personality. It's too late. Too late. Well, it shouldn't be, Zozo. You just start typing in capital H-O, you know, and then it would just show up. Yeah. Yeah. What'd you come up with, Jay? What's not on a phone? What does that mean? We had to take entire classes on personality traits. Yeah. Was one of them an empath? Yeah. Or was it borderline personality disorder, psychopath, sociopath, schizophrenia, that kind of stuff? What did they say an empath was, Jay? I can't imagine that being in there. I mean, somebody that has empathy, you know, for other people, like strong empathy, I think they would just say that. They wouldn't call you some crazy name right out of like having a conical hat and a robe. Cindy, what are you talking about? He hasn't said anything yet. You go, very interesting. Yeah, you're empathetic, right? So you feel what other people feel, right? You can sort of sense what other people are feeling. I don't think it means that you're overly emotional. But when you say that they're overly empathetic, well, maybe, right? Because you could use it for a good reason, right? So when people say I'm an empath, they have a mental disorder. Maybe an opposite of an empath would be a sociopath who doesn't have any empathy for you whatsoever and has no feelings. No, that's not the opposite. I think a sociopath would be closer because they have lack of empathy. You know, like sociopaths are people who they actually kind of mimic what they're supposed to be like because they can't feel that way. No, yeah, come on. Can we quit using narcissist for everything? Good God, everybody. Jesus Christ. Every 2 seconds that word pops up there. Every 5 seconds. No matter what you are. Oh, you're a narcissist. You're a narcissist. Oh, you're a narcissist. You know what? Chris Watts wasn't a narcissist. Everybody calls him one. Like he's the quintessential narcissist. No, the guy was a absolute whack job nutter. I mean, he had really poor sense of self. I mean, but you guys call everybody a narcissist. If they have any self-confidence, they're a narcissist. Yeah, there you go. Well, so then that person that was in here was saying that it's that it was like they have too many emotions about all kinds of things. I don't think they had the right term for what they were. Something, I don't know. That must be like a newer term for somebody to say, I'm an empath. You know? That sort of sounds like a kind of a hokey thing. Seems like you would just say I'm a clinical psychologist. Not, I'm an empath. I'm also a psychic, and I can do tarot cards, and I'm also quite good with EVP readings if you get me the right app. a blubbering mess. Yeah. I guess maybe I'm sort of referring to like when you watch Star Trek and somebody says, I'm an empath, you know, and you have this lady sitting around and staring at somebody and what was her name? Lieutenant Yar or some shit like that. Yeah. Here, let me just type it in here. Let's see. Hold on a second. Okay. So now we can actually get the real answer here. I mean, I'm sure JCase has it, but I want to read it so I can get a longer. It takes too long to type something in. So empathy is an emotion or state of being that allows one person to connect emotionally and cognitively with another person. Right, so you see how somebody's feeling and looking, so you can sort of sense it and you sort of feel like them. Specifically, it refers to being able to put oneself, right, in someone else's shoes. That's exactly what empathy means. To better understand their feeling or experiences. This can help build relationships, whether those relationships are personal or professional. An empath is someone who feels more empathy than the average person, right? So it's trying to make you feel like you're a higher being. Yeah, they don't go together. Yeah, it just sort of has that feeling to it, though. Like you're sort of this, you know. An empath is someone who feels more empathy than the average person, which doesn't mean they're actually accurately picking up anything. These people are usually more accurate in recognizing emotions. So there you go. Now it's saying that they are more accurate. By looking at another person's face, they are also more likely to recognize. See, that's something I have. I can be, I'll just sitting around with people and I go, "Hey, what's wrong?" And they go, "How did you know something was wrong?" And I go, "I don't know. I can just tell." You know, they always wonder how the hell I'm doing it, but I don't think it's like this special power. It's just obvious to people. See? Yeah. An empath is someone who feels more empathy than the average person. These people are usually more accurate in recognizing emotions. By looking at another person's face, they are also more likely to recognize emotions earlier than other people and rate those emotions as being more intense. Emotions earlier than other people. Yeah. See, that's the thing is, you know, sometimes people aren't really displaying outward emotions that are easy to see, and you can pick up on something really subtle at some time, right? I guess I just don't call it something like that. Oh, I'm an empath, you know? It's just, I think there's a lot of people that are like that. I don't know why, you know, it almost seems natural. People who are highly empathic may unconsciously mirror other people's movements. That's a little weird. MRI scans have shown that there is a neural relay mechanism in the brain that allows empaths to mimic the postures, mannerisms, and facial expressions of others. Sounds like Jodi Arias when she was the borderline personality disorder. She'd show up every day and try to act like the people she admired in the courtroom. Interestingly, this mimicry also applies to tiny movements. If an empath sees a needle pricking another person's hand, the empath's brain may react as if they were their hand, activating the same motor and sensory areas. Okay. I had a little bit of an issue there. One small study found that highly empathic people reported feeling an electric shock that researchers gave to other people. Couldn't it just be that they're telling you that they feel that because they knew what you were doing in the study? The researcher gave 16 women an electric shock while they were hooked up to a brain image machine. Why just women? Aren't there men that are empathic? This machine showed, I think it's so sexist, so biased. This machine showed which areas of the brain activated when in pain. After this, the researchers told the women that their spouses also received an electric shock while in another room. The woman's brain used similar areas as when the researchers shocked them, causing the woman some pain. Wait, hold on. What? Which area of the brain? After this, the researchers told the woman that their spouses also received an electric shock while in another room. Okay. It didn't just spontaneously happen. After you told them they were shocked, they had a reaction. So even if you had lied to them, they still would have felt that, which means it's sort of a psychological deal. So if they'd come in the room and said, hey, your husband was just shocked, he's in the other room, all of a sudden, oh yeah, I felt it. Oh, well, we didn't actually shock him. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, I didn't feel it then. I didn't feel it right then. Yeah. So I guess I have a different perception of it now. I never thought of it as an actual medical term. So, hell, you know what? You learn something every day, right? I'll be more sensitive in the future to empaths. All right. Oh yeah. Hey Cindy, you don't have to tell J Case correct. That's condescending. He already knows what he's talking about. Yeah, whenever you use the correct emoji, it's usually for condescension, because that's why I made it. Referring back to the time when this lady who couldn't think herself out of a shoebox, wanted to know how to work this computer program. And I said, okay, yeah, I was telling her how to do it. And every time I'd tell her a certain part, she'd say, correct. And eventually I realized that what she was doing was making sure that anybody that was walking by while I was helping her thought she was helping me by saying correct, as if I was asking her. I would literally say, I'm not asking you a question. I'm helping you out. So why are you saying correct all the time? You know? It's ridiculous. Like when somebody's helping you, don't go correct. You know, you go, hey Gray, how do you figure out like 3 plus 3 plus 3? Well, you add the 3 plus the 3, correct. And then you add the other 3, correct. Well, then why the hell did you ask me, you idiot? Okay? You know, you already knew it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, man. There you go. Put up 100. There you go. 100. Yeah, there you go. Hey, I've said this before, but for you, anybody that's new out here, when you go next time you go to Nordstrom's or something after the pandemic is really over, where you can actually go to a store and not have a mask on. You go in there, and if they say, well, you know how they say, what's the first thing they say to you? Type it in. What do they say when you go to Nordstrom's? As soon as the salesperson approaches you, what do they say to you? Exact words. Hey, Fishing Lake, I am smart. You're not. All right, so go ahead. Let's do it. What do they say when they go to? I don't. You know, I know that sometimes I do say stupid shit. I mean, I'm a human being, right? But I'm not a dipshit. You know, that like you are. Fishing Lake. Fishing Lake. Hey, go look at dog. How, you know, it's like Fishing Lake. God, what a joke. All right, let's see. No, they don't say that. They say, what they say when you come in, they say, can I help you today? Or, they always end with the or. You know, it's like, can I help you today? Or, you have two options here. You can say, no, tomorrow would be fine. Or you could say, or what? You know, so you got a couple options here. I'm just helping you out. They come up to you, can I help you today? Or what? It would just absolutely confuse the hell out of them, right? Or you could say, can I help? They say, can I help you today? You go, no, but tomorrow would be fantastic. I think either way, they're going to freak out and not know what the hell you're talking about. All right, Fishing Lake? I just made Fishing Lake's day. Oh my God, he talked about me. Oh. Idiot. Jesus. Now, why are you guys even still reading about that case that was just solved? Hey, that'd be cool, Fishing Lake. That'd be fantastic. Except nobody gives a shit what you think. Have you ever felt bad about that, Fishing Lake? Like when you're sitting around at night, you go, oh, wow. Nobody cares what I have to say. Okay, and this channel doesn't care what you have to say ever again. Goodbye. Oh yeah, I've almost done that, Jay. You're on the phone and you almost say that to some random. You're just talking to, you know. Yeah, it might not even be a random person. It might be a friend, but it's definitely not somebody you would say that to. Yep. Fishing Lake is now gone fishing. Notice how we always get these trolls that show up. make a couple comments. Nobody cares. Then they're gone. Hey, that's really interesting, Panan. Wow. Hey, it's 9:30 a.m. over there, everybody. Thanks for letting us know. What's the temperature like? Are there butterflies in the sky? Are there clouds? Are they nimbus or stratus? Back to the gutter, TJ Maxx said. Back to the gutter. That's right. That's right. Back to the gutter. Nobody even knows what that means. There was no gutter conversation. Just had trolls showing up. It would be PG women? What does that mean? Now, trolls are never funny. You know, that's the thing. It's like, you don't know if TJ Maxx was trying to be a troll up there or not. It's hard to tell. Didn't make any sense. Didn't fit. Oh, you said to the PG woman. All right, anything else? No thanks, love you. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I got what you're saying now. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. That was just the first comment that I saw that you typed in. Yeah. I was thinking, because we have PGE here in Portland too, but it's Portland General Electric. That's a pretty good one, though. Yeah. I'd like to see you do that with the IRS agent. Well, you owe $1,000. Well, thank you. I love you. I mean, shit. Yeah, hell, maybe they'll do something after you hang up and give you a break. Alright, so TJ Maxx wasn't a troll, kid. No, but here's the deal, though, Thomas. Trolls don't work on this channel. Because when the moment they troll, it's kind of obvious. Like, we don't have dummies in here. And they're just gone. You know? Now, last night, you know, when we were all over there on Harvey's channel, you know, because his whole video was a troll, he wasn't removing trolls. Not only that, he doesn't have any moderators. I guarantee it, though, if he had moderators, they would have blocked every single person that was commenting. There's no doubt about it. Okay? Except for people on his side. And so the thing is, he didn't have any moderators, and therefore nobody was blocked. But trust me, he's blocked plenty of people. Yep, after you write the check. Man, they like me every quarter. I have to send in every 3 months I have to send in the entire YouTube revenue into the quarterly taxes. It's crazy. Like the third month I'm just doing this for taxes. I get zero. Yeah, I don't know who Milo is, but yeah, cool. All right, everybody, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I hope you guys have a great evening and everything. And yeah, I appreciate you guys' support. Keeping the channel going, building up our funds, and getting charity out there. We got 36,100 since January 1st, 2020. This year so far, 14,100. We should be getting close to, should be like at least 2,500 at the end of the month, so it'd be 16,600. Excellent. I want to get the DNA fund up to 15,000 now, because it sounds like there's so many cases, you guys. I mean, I almost think that that should be like almost the main focus. But if we ever got up to a point where I was able to donate like 40,000 or something, I'd probably put like 20 a year into the DNA fund, and then 20 into the other ones, or 25, 15, I don't know. But I mean, I think giving people their name back and potentially helping solve crime, doing that by funding the DNA research and literally being part of the process of picking the case, I mean, that is insane, everybody. I'm so pumped for us all to be part of it, especially when we get that first case solved. Man, we're just going to have a big, something going on. I don't know, man. It's going to be freaking amazing. Oh, God. I've wanted to do this for a year or so now, and finally we're actually doing it. So, boom! All right, everybody, thank you for showing up tonight. Thanks for the conversations, everybody calling in, talking about your stories, and listening to me ramble on, just trying to be funny for a lot of that time. Hopefully it works for you. I know that I owe some of you cups of coffee because you spit it out when I was doing my couple of the jokes. Like Cindy up there. Cindy Leon. That's her name, everybody. Leon. Not Lynn or not Lynn or Lean. Yeah. So thanks, everybody. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Probably an early show, like maybe 3 o'clock. And because after that I got to go watch the Blazers play the final regular season game against the Nuggets, which could either put them in 6th place, or if they lose, they're in the play-in rounds. And the first round would be against the Lakers, probably lose that. Then you'd play the winner between 9 and 10, and that would be the Golden State Warriors. It's freaking crazy. So we basically have to win tomorrow. That's really what it comes down to. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. And as I always say, everybody, until next time. I'm just kidding. Hey, everybody, make sure you keep washing your hands. And, if you've been fully vaccinated, like they said, you don't need to wear your mask much. I'd still wear it if you went into a grocery store or something like that. But if you're outside, go to a restaurant with your family, forget it. Okay? Boom. So, that's it. Hey, Dennis. Good to see you. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. And a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a...
Not even one? Not one person, Greg?
I said that, not one. Lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his spectre with all respect, y'all. Just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody, talk to you later.
Hey, Gray, thank you so much for the show tonight. We learned about a lot of things, like what an empath is, like what a lesbian is, and what is the thing with the thing with the one with the one with the thing with the four with the thing with the four with the talking about the thing with the stuff with the radio.
What the hell are you talking about, man? Mary Lou, you're going nuts, okay?
M-A-S, a T-E-R, a G with a double E. Wait, what? Who's Lori dancing? What are you talking about? Don't interrupt me, don't interrupt me. G with a double E. Let it go by the unforgettable name of the man they call the Master G. Well, my name is known all over the world by all the foxy ladies and the pretty girls. Going down in history as the baddest brother there ever could be. Now I'm feeling the highs and I'm feeling the lows. The beat starts getting into your toes. You stop popping your fingers and stamping your feet and moving your body while you're sitting and you're sitting and said, damn, stop doing the freak. I said, damn, I ride it out of your seat. Then you throw your hands high in the air. You're rocking to the beat, singing there with hair. You're rocking to the beat without a care. With the show aside, MCs for the affair. Now I'm not as tall as the rest of the gang, but I can rap to the beat just the same. I got a little face and a pair of brown eyes. I'm a credit to the ladies, just hypnotized. Singing on and on and on and on. Beat don't stop until the break of dawn. I said on and on and on like a hot diddy poppy poppy pop diddy diddy poppy pop poppy. Don't dare stop, I come alive, yo. Give me what you got, cause I'm guaranteed to make you rock. I said 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me wonder, Mike, what are you waiting for?
Hippity hoppity. Oh, I suck. Forget it.
Jeez, John boy, what a buzzkill. Here's a little story I got to tell about 3 bad brothers you know so well. Started way back in history with that Rock MCA and me, Mike D. But had a little horse, his name was Paul Revere. Me and my horsey in a quart of beer, riding across the land, kicking up sand, sheriff buses on my tail, cause I'm in the land. One lonely beastie I be, all by myself without no buc-ee. Sun was beating down on my baseball hat, it was getting hot, it was getting flat. Looking for a girl, ran into a guy, name was MCA, I did that either. Hi!
Hey, pretty good, Mary Lou, pretty good.
I know, John boy, thank you.
Again with the hellos? Jesus.
He told a little story, it sounded really hurt. 4 days on that run and then he's dying of thirst. The brew was in my hand, he was on my tip. His horse is yours, right? Yes, his horse sip. Second I got some, said I got none. Headed at the run, pulled a shotgun. Quick on the draw, thought I'd be dead. Put the gun to my head and this is what he said. My name is MCA, I got a license to kill. Hope you know what time it is, it's time to get ill. What do we have here? Outlaw is dear. Run this land, you understand, I'll make myself clear. Elaborate and listen. As a back with his brand new invention, something brother holding me tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop, yo? I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow to the extreme. I rock the mic like a vandal, right up the stage and with the chump like a candle. Dance plus the speakers of boom, killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom. Deadly when I play a dope melody. Anything less than the best is a felony. Love it, leave it, better game way. Better hit bulls like kids don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook on my DJ revolves it. The party is jumping, with the bass kicked in and the beggars are pumping. Quick to the point, cause the point no faking. Cooking MCs like a pound of bacon, burning them, you ain't quick and nimble. I go crazy when I hear the cymbal with a hi-hat, with a souped up tempo. I'm on a roll, time to go solo, rolling in my 5.0 with my rock tap throwing till the hand can blow. The killers on standby, waiting just to say hi. Did you stop? No, just drove on, kept on, pursuing to the next stop. I bought the left, I'm headed to the next block. Good luck with it, y'all, so continue to A1A. Detroit Avenue, girls wear hot, wearing less than bikinis. Rock man lover, drumming on bikinis. Jealous, cause I'm out getting mine. Shade was a gauge and vanilla was a 9. Gunshots ranged out like a bell. I grab a 9 on the hood with shells falling on the concrete real fast. Jumped in my car, slammed on the gas. Bumper to bumper, avenues packed. Time to get away from the jack is jack. Police on the scene, you know what I mean. Wrap it up and running over doping. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook on my DJ revolves it. in an ocean liner. No one can rock the microphone finer. East Coast, South Carolina, lovers of Bill and hanging out now finer. Want to China, cause I got a show there. I need my passport, cause I gotta go there. Hello? Oh boy. I was in the hit the spot. The both was girls and the girls was hot. The two was staring like he knows who we are. We took the empty spot next to him at the bar. Yippee yo, you know this kid? I said I did, but I know he did. Kid said get ready. This ain't funny. My name's Mike D and I'm about to get money. Pulled out the jammy, aimed at the sky. Hit up and let two fly. Wasted two kids that ran for the door. I'm Mike D and I kid respect. The costume and jewelry is what I expect. MTA was with it. He's my ace, so I grabbed a piano player and I punched him in the face. Piano player's out, music stopped. Boy had 8 and he got dropped. Mike D grabbed the money, MCA grabbed the gold. Grabbed 2 girlies and a beer, that's cold. You feel so stoned over what a man I could never been.
Gosh, how come I don't get to sing anymore? Okay, let me try it, with a little story that I got to tell about 3 bad brothers you know so well. Started way back in history with that rock MCA and me, Mike D. Had a little horse and name was Paul Revere. Me and my horse had a quart of beer. Run across the land, kicking up sand, shove posses on my tail cause I'm in the man.
One lonely beastie I be.
Well, about myself without no buc-ee.
The sun was beating down on my baseball hat.
The air was getting flat.
I was getting flat. Looking for a girl, I ran into a guy.
His name is MCA. I said howdy, you said hi.
Hey, you said flat, not hot. Oh, God, man. Jesus.
I'm sorry, but did I do good other than that?
Yeah, you did fine, John Boy. Jesus. Hey, great, man. That was a fun show, dude.
Dude? Why'd you call me dude?
I don't know. Everybody's saying it now. Hey, dude, you know, like that.
Oh, man. Just say Gray, all right?
Gosh, Gray, I wanted to be in like everybody else. Gee.
Gosh, Mary Lou.
What do you mean, John Boy? Gosh, you're so mean to me.
Oh, my God. What a bunch of... Okay, anyways. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe around like 3 o'clock, okay? Look out for the trolls. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.